A really mean hill, feeling the pain. Down the Beard and Greenway, back through the fort, halfway there. With your neighbors and your teammates, you find the strength to keep going over to the Old City, north to 4th and Gill, then turn around at Greystone. You train for this on lots of early mornings, putting in the effort with lots of weekend runs. Hang a left at Caswell Park, south past 5 Points, across the river to Island Home, and dig deep, then turn around again. Dedication carries you back across the river, downtown, to World's Fair Park, and back to the Suns Fair again. 26.2 miles. It's a long way to run, but it was worth it in the long run. Ready to Run starts right now. 6 News coverage of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon is sponsored by the Garza Law Firm.
And good morning, everyone. A live look downtown Knoxville. Everyone getting ready for the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Good morning. I'm Bo Williams.
I'm Lori Tucker. Thank you for joining us. Also with us, we're so happy to have Christy Altman back with us again this year. Our expert is going to take us through this morning. We are ready to run. We're ready to watch the runners in this year's Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. The streets may be wet. It's a light rain right now. Fingers crossed it's going to stay that way.
That's what we think. 4 o'clock this morning, that was the word. Everything looks good. KFD, KPD said, let's roll. And so we're here, and here we go.
And this is a big year. You have more runners than ever who signed up to come in.
We did, so we peaked right before COVID. We had a great year before COVID, and then this year we're up, it looks like about 600 runners total over across the board. We are up 120 marathon runners, which is a huge deal because usually that's not the one that grows so much. But this year we're up about 120 of those marathon runners. It's going to be a good day.
It is going to be a good day. Rain or shine, it doesn't matter. We're just under 30 minutes away from the official start, so it'll be a welcome sight. I know there's been a lot of questions as far as the forecast, but hey, it's looking great. And a little rain doesn't really, won't hurt some of these runners. It'll feel good. Yesterday was pretty hot, so
yesterday
at least things
was
are cooled down
very
a little
hot.
bit.
That would have been unideal conditions for a race. We would have been a red flag by the end of that if if we'd had yesterday's temperatures today.
Wow.
This is not bad. As long as we can keep the steady rain, that actually will be great for body temperature. They'll have it, it's really, really good. But if the temperature drops, we may see a little bit of folks who get cold towards the end. But the temperatures and the light rain are perfect for a day like today.
Let's just keep it steady.
That's right. Let's keep it just like this.
We're going to check with our meteorologist, Matt Condon. He's keeping up with what's going on. We'll check in with him in just a moment. But first, as we've been talking about, we have crews fanned out all along the course today.
That's right. Don Dare, he's one of them, is going to be out there kind of keeping us up to date on what's happening out along the course. So, Don, I know you're with the runners. They're getting ready, hopefully staying dry, at least for the next few minutes.
Well, Bo, everyone is dry inside the convention center here. Dave's going to pan over here to the left, and these are the folks who are stretching, getting ready for the race, staying out of the rain. And no umbrellas are allowed in this race. That's what I've been told. Some people did have some umbrellas, but we were just joking with them. Over here are the Speed Demons. This is probably going to be the fastest running club in the race. It's the Corrington Running Club. You're looking at Kelly right now. Here's Tim. That's Kelly. Kelly, you are a pretty fast half marathoner. What's your time?
My last half marathon was 1:44:10, so I'm proud of that time. That's one of my best in a long time.
Good Lord, that is really fast, isn't it, Tim?
Thank you.
It is. It's blistering.
I
It was
ran
really
with him.
fast.
And how does she run so fast?
Training, good looks. So,
Running with him.
And you're not so slow yourself.
well, we ran the Moon Pie Half Marathon 2 weeks ago. I ran a 1:44. She was first overall female. I was first overall male.
And you've overcome quite a few barriers over the years, haven't you?
Cancer in 2015, stage 4. God's put me in front of the right people to cure me, and good teammates.
And who's this guy next to you?
Zachary.
Hi, how are you?
Is he the pace runner?
No, but he's going to make us chase him.
Yes. I'm training for the Nashville Marathon.
And when is it?
April 26th.
What do you think of the Knoxville Marathon?
I did it last year, so I know it's you don't need to do legs. There's no leg workout, probably the whole training program, because you're going to get one today.
You're going to get a lot of leg workout today.
Yes.
What have you advised the young lady over here? This is Danny.
This is Danny. She's going to do her first half marathon ever. She's 15?
16.
Sorry,
16.
16.
Yep.
I do that to my sister, my daughter too.
How did you prepare for this race?
Well, I usually use a training app to prepare for the races, and I run cross-country season in the fall with Knoxville Ambassadors, so that helps me prepare, and I'm just really excited. This is my first half marathon, so.
In the rain?
In the rain, yeah.
Have you ever run in the rain before?
Oh, yes.
What's it like?
I think it's cooling. It needed to do that this week. It was so humid these past few days. It needed to rain this whole week.
Who's going to set the pace here?
I'm going to let Kelly set it, and I'm going to chase her.
You're the chaser?
Absolutely.
And he's the tail dragger over
That'll
here?
be it. And Danny's going to be out of sight. We won't even see her.
That's right.
Well, good luck to the Corrington Running Club.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you at the end.
Yes.
I
We'll
hope
be here.
so. That's the plan.
All right. Stay dry.
We're going to try.
Right.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thank
So
you,
it looks
Dawn.
like it's going to be a lot of fun. Folks are now beginning to go out onto the track here at the convention center. And the race is not too far away, 20 minutes from now. Back to you, Lori and Bo.
All right, Don, thank you. I don't know if Don went home. He was out there last night for the 5K.
Late.
and
He was
doing
cheering you on in the 5K.
He is always a huge supporter, but also he was out there handing out the awards afterwards
Yes.
last night. And so he is still out there, but getting a chance to talk with some of the competitors this year.
Yeah, and a couple of people he talked to, Christy, you were saying that's a real deal when you're chasing someone. That's a
Yes.
real strategy.
It's perfect, really. I mean, that's how, we laugh over the years. That's how you get faster. So even, I always made friends with people who were faster than me, and then I would just chase them. So we would start with short runs, and then that's how I got faster, though, was to find somebody that had a better pace and just chase them down.
There you go. Hey, we mentioned our meteorologist, Matt Condon, is here. He is keeping up with the rain. As we've said, Matt, I know it's not scientific, but we're keeping our fingers crossed that the rain doesn't get heavier or anything else more serious happens. How are we looking right now?
Yeah, so at least over in Knoxville, we've had some lighter rain develop and actually a break in the rain, especially on the northern part of Knox County. But for now, it may be lighter rain, but notice how there are downpours across the plateau, even through parts of the Southern Valley. It's going to be soggy for the race, but at least hopefully we can keep some of the lighter rain for a majority of the course. And also, it's been several hours since we've had any rumbles or lightning strikes, so that's some good news as well. All this rain is stabilizing the atmosphere, so lightning becoming more and more unlikely for the entire race. Some good news there. Here's a closer view into Knox County right now. So yes, we still have some lighter rain around, especially over towards Hardin Valley and along the Blount-Sevier County line with Knox County as well. But you go up towards Halls and we're a bit drier, at least dealing with some lighter rainfall. But again, at times we will see some downpours moving through the area. There's the view towards the starting line right now, getting very busy, but at least the camera shot showing the lighter rain as well would be perfect if we could keep these ideal conditions in place for the entire race. But notice areas north and east of Knoxville also getting to enjoy that break in the rain as well, but we'll have to watch for these downpours set up pretty closely. We have rain across the plateau that could drift into Knoxville over the course of the morning. We still have some rain south of Knoxville as well. Several more hours of rainfall moving into the area, and at times it will be locally heavy. You can see this just steady stream of moisture into the area. So it is going to be soggy for the race, soggy for the participants and the watchers. 50s and 60s for now, which is a lot more comfortable, like they mentioned. Compared to yesterday, we were in the mid-80s, and we've been in the mid-80s since Thursday. So a lot more comfortable temperature-wise, but it will be soggy at times. Rain showers expected. Light rain for now, but I do think there's a threat for a few downpours as we head throughout the race. But at this point, it looks pretty unlikely that we see rumbles and lightning strikes as we head through the morning. For now, we'll send it back on over to you guys.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Yeah, let's just keep it where it is.
Yeah.
I like this. I like everything Matt is saying right now.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we do want to head back outside for just a moment. Our own Tirsa Smith, who, by the way, during Good Morning Tennessee, I think I heard her commit to running the relay next year.
I definitely heard that.
Okay, we're witnesses.
Definitely heard that.
She is at the start line as the runners are getting ready. Hey, Tirsa.
We're going to just delete that part of the show, okay? We're going to just get that out of the archives. But listen, we are here. The party has started. I know you can hear the music, and it is almost go time. The DJ is going. All the runners are getting set up, and it's just such an exciting time right now. Joining me now, I have two young ladies who go to UT. They're running the half marathon. I know we talk a lot about the marathon, but it's got to start from somewhere. So first, ladies, introduce yourselves and where you're from.
My name's Jess, and I'm from Virginia.
My name is Emily. I'm from New Hampshire.
So let's talk about why did you all decide to run the half marathon?
It's always been just like a goal of mine, and I just decided to do it. There was one here, so might as well sign up.
Okay, so this is your first time, both of you. What was the training like?
Pretty hard, I guess.
Yeah.
We kind of just all trained together, and that was encouraging, doing it all together. So.
Awesome, awesome. So it's your first time. Do you think you'll do it again after this? Or should I wait until afterwards to ask that question?
I want to after school, after college. It was really time consuming, so.
Okay. Well, wish you all so much luck. Go have fun. They were so cute. You can go get ready. They were taking photos. They were just adorable. But listen, there are so many stories here. You see so many different companies, teams that are getting together to run. You have at the starting line some of our runners who are using the adaptive gear so that they can run. So again, there are different legs to this, and each one is so exciting. We're going to be out here for a while until they're ready to kick off the race. Stay with us. This is the best part to me, when everybody starts off together for this marathon and half marathon. Let's go ahead and send things back inside.
No doubt about it, Tirsa. This is one of the most exciting parts when you hear that gun sound and everybody takes off. I know they're getting ready. We're counting down. We're, about 20 minutes away? Under 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and she talked about the music. I mean, I'm reading the script for the start line, and Jason is very specific on the music he plays. Yeah. They works with Party Boys. They pick out just the right songs. And so this really is like the best part, like your arm hair stand up.
Good stuff. I think Eminem is going to start
Yep.
to start playing some Eminem
Yes.
now. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm looking at the playlist here.
Jason has everything timed. At 7:12 is when he's going to make the final call for everybody to come on down to the start line. You know, and speaking of that, there are some changes that runners are going to see this year, not on the first half of the course, but the back half. You and I checked it out with Jason. Let's show you what to expect.
We've got some significant changes to the second half of the course, and as a result we had to add some mileage. And like, what better place? We're in 4th and Gill already. Why not come a couple blocks up, come right through the WATE parking lot?
So one of the big reasons why so many changes for the full marathon runners this year is because the Gay Street Bridge is closed.
See all the signs here. So Jason, how are you getting around that?
Well, you know, we love going into all our neighborhoods, and Island Home is important, so we wanted to continue to utilize Island Home as part of our race course. Previously, we took the James White Parkway to get into the neighborhood, and we came back on Gay Street Bridge. With it being closed, both to pedestrians and vehicles, we had to get creative. So we're doing similar to what the bike race did, is we're going to go in to Island Home via the James White Parkway and come back on the opposite side of James White Parkway to get us back across the river, and then we're able to get off at Riverside Drive.
So while runners can't be on top of the bridge there, they can run underneath it. Jason, we're right on the pathway.
Yeah, so we've exited Island Home, we've come back across the river, we're on the north side. Runners have come down from James White Parkway all the way this way on the Kneeling Greenway, taking the sidewalk past Calhoun's on the river and heading ever so close towards the finish line.
Of course, the sign that the runners are almost done is when they see the Sun Sphere, but how they get here into World's Fair Park and to wrap all of this up, well, will be a little different from what we've seen in the years past.
There are some changes, so walk us through what those changes are.
Yeah, previous years, everyone has finished coming Clinch Avenue Bridge under the viaduct, finishing at World's Fair Park Drive. New this year, the marathoners and the relay participants will come along 2nd Creek Greenway, past the base of the Sun Sphere, until they ultimately finish down at the finish line at World's Fair Park. That is where we're going to give them one of these
oh my goodness.
medals for their efforts.
Yes, the only time I'll ever get one of these. Thank you. Oh, the feeling to have a medal around your neck. And quick shout out to my buddy here, Arbo, who did the 5K yesterday. You've got the medal. I asked you to bring it in. You're so humble.
I fell asleep as soon as I got home, and it's probably right where I set it down, so I apologize. But
way to go.
No, thank you. Thank you. And hey, stay with us. We have a lot more of our coverage coming up as we're counting down to the start of the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon.
are 14 minutes
14.
away from the race kicking off. We are so glad you're with us. I'm Lori Tucker along with Christy Altman, Bo Williams, bringing you live coverage of this year's Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, and we cannot wait. You know, runners have been training. We've been training in a different way and getting all these stories ready and covering all the pre-race activity. It's really been a lot of fun and eye-opening for those of us who aren't runners.
Well, the great thing is that everybody out there is a story for why they're doing this.
Yes.
Whether it's just a bucket list, maybe they've overcome something in their life, they're running for a friend, it's what have you. And to find some of these stories is really amazing, very inspiring as well. As we've been talking with them, and I know, Chris, you've got to know a lot of these people.
We do, and I was telling Lori a few weeks ago, when I'm here and I can see everyone on screen, I'm almost starstruck because I can see folks running. I didn't have that opportunity for so many years because I was on site and moving cattle guards and other things. And so from here, I have this great vantage point of being able to see, we were just talking to Tim Rutherford, who was with the running group a few minutes ago, who said he'd overcome cancer. We knew him while he was in treatment. He seeks me out at every expo to get a picture and a hug because, we just all mean so much to each other. And, so we've gotten to know all these people over the years, and it's just a wonderful day of celebration when you get to this point.
And it's such a joy to see the hand cyclists and other folks who've overcome so many obstacles to be here and put in a lot of hours of hard training.
And we will see them actually take off first.
Yes, they'll get a little bit of a head start just to get out ahead of the runners. That way there's, it's a safety thing, but it gives them a little bit of time just to get out, and it gives the runners a little bit of time to let them go and then be able to see them when they do get to the point where they're going to pass them.
Yeah, all right. Hey, we want to go back down near the start line. Don Dare, he's inside the convention center there, still talking with some of this year's participants. Don.
Well, Bo, we have a new group of participants. We have the Collegiate University of Tennessee running team. This is the faculty administration UT running team. And look who is over here, the president of the University of Tennessee, Randy Boyd. And how did you get this group together?
Morning, Don. Oh, they were excited. They actually got me together. This whole team, the UT system, everywhere you look, UT, figured why not? We'll run together this morning.
Who do we have here?
I'll let everybody introduce themselves.
I'm Emma Grace.
I'm Rob. Courtney Jarman.
And over here?
And I'm Jason.
And Jason, is he going to be the pace setter, or how is this going to work?
You know what? He probably will be. I think Rob will be too. Rob's pretty good as well.
We've got a lot of really fast people. I just get participation medals these days. But at some age, just participating is winning. So
this will
be my 95th half marathon. My goal is to get to 100. Next year's half marathon here will be my 100th. That's the plan.
So he's the pace setter, you're the pace setter.
So, I don't know about all that. I'm just hoping that I can just make him proud and keep up with the precedent he has set for all us runners. So,
well, good luck to this group. And Randy, good luck to you.
Well, thanks, Don. Hopefully we'll see you out here with us next year.
Perhaps so. What do we call this group?
This is UT System Administration Running Club.
I
just made that up, by the way.
There you go. And you have seen it live at our Marathon for 2025. Back to you, Bo and Lori. Great group.
95 half marathons, and you and I, we all have had a chance to talk with Randy Boyd, and he's had surgery, knee surgery. He powers through and has gone to different countries to run some of these races. That's an impressive number.
I think he is running every county in our 95 counties here in Tennessee
Correct.
as well. So who knows? We may see him running laps around Covenant Health Park here as the Smokies get ready to begin their
I wouldn't be surprised.
season.
At all,
but he is out there. Yeah, he's running. And he said next year at this time will be the 100.
100.
Yes. So impressive.
We'll be watching.
Yes, we will.
That's
that is
for sure. All right, time check, 7:20. We're getting closer and closer.
We're getting
to the start of this race. Folks are lining up.
And it looks like it's not if it is raining, it's very light right now, which is great. That's perfect here for the start. Christy, I know you were talking about it. Maybe catching a little bit of a break here, which very welcome. As I know that Matt was mentioning a few moments ago, parts of the county actually in a little bit of a dry spell here, so we will definitely take it.
The presentation is starting right now. Let's listen in for a moment.
and signs indicate current status of the conditions. Should conditions change mid-race, we will change the flags and signs accordingly. We'd like to thank this year's sponsors on behalf of the Knoxville Track Club and our title sponsor, Covenant Health. We want to thank Pilot Company, ORNL Federal Credit Union, Mortgage Investors Group, Clayton, Goody's Headache Powder, First Horizon, Shoe Station, Petro's Chili and Chips, Jim and Nick's Barbecue, Regal, Denzo, Threads, New Balance Knoxville, Eddie's Health Shop, Driving Energy Chocolate, Tennessee Pre, Ed Financial, Cirrus Aircraft, Bioworks, Melaleuca Wellness, Zoa Energy Drinks, Cherokee Distributing, Miller Lite, Topo
As we
Chico,
hear Race Director
CNS
Jason Altman
Y12,
thanking the sponsors. This couldn't happen without them. And also, you guys, talking
I have a friend who was running, and she said they hid out underneath awnings in downtown. Because this is when we still finished through Market Square. And, you know, so that was like, we're just trying to get to the finish line, but we're trying not to get completely soaked to get there. So everyone is different, and we work with a group called Meters. They're the ham radio operators. They help us change those flags on the course and help us keep up with the conditions on the course. And so that's how, when we need to do a flag change, they're going to go and change those flags for us.
And there are different parts throughout the course.
All over the course,
so
yeah. They're everywhere on the course. So wherever you are on the course, you're going to run into a flag within a mile.
Okay. Hey, as we mentioned, we have crews fanned out all across the course right now. We want to check in with our own Stan Smith from Good Morning Tennessee. He's out there monitoring conditions. Stan.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about the rain just a little bit. Might be very light right now, but it is very minimal. So it's prime conditions considering what we're dealing with for these runners. We're standing at 16th and Clinch right now. We saw one runner coming down the street just now getting his last warm-up in, but we're quite a ways, but we are the first turn for these runners. We're super excited to see them. We're starting to see more and more families and friends starting to line these streets, starting to cheer on their family members and whoever they might be rooting on in this race. We'll bring you more and more about this as the show goes along, but I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are ready to run. We're ready to watch the runners there all gathering. We are minutes away from the start of this year's marathon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
welcome back to the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, and we are counting down less than 4 minutes to go.
We're about ready to hear the national anthem sung by Lindsay Blocker.
Sorry, Scott.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, in the home of the
Saying last night for the 5K, but it was either right before or right after.
Right before.
She was at the Ice Bears game, because
Yes.
she sings the national anthem there as well. I guess they had a car waiting. She went from, because they basically started at about the same time.
About the same time. She Ubered over from the Ice Bears game over to our start line, and then I think she hung out at the finish line for a little bit for the 5K, but yeah, she Ubered over because it was the easiest way to get to us.
She is in demand.
Through the streets of Knoxville today.
All right, let's watch. The race is about to start. We're just a couple of minutes away, actually 1 minute away.
Monitors wearing the neon volunteer shirts. We have 16 water stops ready to serve you mountain water and Gatorade endurance formula. There are 24 bands, 3 DJs lined up throughout the next 26.2 miles. You'll run through great neighborhoods, starting with Fort Sanders, Sequoia Hills, 4th and Gill, Park Ridge. You'll travel south to Island Home before you make your way to the ORNL Federal Credit Union finish line at World's Fair Park. Months of training have led you to this moment, a moment that is now 21 years in the making. Are you ready? On your mark, get set. It's marathon time in Tennessee!
I don't know about you guys, I have goosebumps right now.
I get them every time. I just love hearing Jason every year. You can tell he is so excited up there on the podium.
It would be very unprofessional if I started crying right now. But the fact that that just happened, there were several moments this week we weren't sure that was gonna happen, that was gonna take place, and so a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I am sure lifted off his shoulders, and watching all those folks cross that start line and get out there it's never not amazing.
No, it really is. And like Lori said, I mean, I still feel the chills. I mean, as you're watching these runners go by. And we should probably point out, first of all, the hand cyclists, as you mentioned, they've already taken off. They're well ahead right now in the push rims. But also, as you take a look at this crowd, it's stacked up. If you've never run something like this, they're in corrals. And it's really kind of based on, I guess, your level of expertise when running.
So when you sign up, we ask you to give us a projected finish time. So if for the marathon, whatever time you think you're going to run, or that you have run before, that you think you're in shape to run, same thing for the half marathon, and then we divide you into these corrals by those times. So what we're trying to do is to keep someone from who's going to be walking to be on the very front line. We want them to have the same great race experience. But we tried to make it so that, I was telling the kids last night, we put the older kids up front, so they're going to go faster, and the smaller kids in the back. For the adults, we're going to put the folks who are going to come right out of the gate and lead the race up front. And then those folks who are here who, for myself, I'm going to do a 2:45 half marathon. I need to be further back in Corral D or E.
let me ask you this, because there is a percentage of participants considered elite athletes. How fast do they go? What is their mile?
So it's going to depend. For the full marathon, they're depending on how the conditions are and things, but they could go as fast as a 5:30. You know, we saw Ryan Hall last night. I believe he spoke this morning as well. He's the American record holder. He ran a marathon in under 2:05.
Wow.
He's the only one to have done
Olympian,
that.
Team USA,
yes.
amazing.
Just an amazing athlete. So, you know, you'll see everything from a 5:30. I believe Jason's won marathons before with a 6-minute pace. It just, you know, depends on the course itself. For the half marathon, they're going to go a little bit faster because it's a shorter distance, and you know, so they're not trying to pace out over those 26 miles. So we're going to see some. And with these conditions, we may see some fast times today.
Well, right now they're making the turn after that long climb. If you've never run this, you know it is uphill right out of the get-go. Stan Smith is hanging out in that area watching the runners now as they pass by. Stan.
Yeah, guys, we're seeing our first runners come up this hill. That is a heck of a climb. I will add to that, Bo. But just listen to the roar of the crowd right now as we're already seeing this drove of runners going up and down, starting to see plenty of people cheering them on. That's what we like to see right here. But this is certainly a sight to see, and I'll echo what Lori said. This is something that we're all getting goosebumps from. This is quite a scene right here, the very first runners. They trained so hard to get to this point right now. Just listen to more of this. Truly cool stuff right here. So many runners. You can just masses of people here too. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That is so exciting. This is what we love to see here. All right, I'll send it back to you guys.
The level of support here always amazes, but doesn't surprise.
No, it's a great community, and that's one of the best things about running through Knoxville is that all of our neighborhoods, our communities come out in full force. They set up tables, they have their own picnics, their own brunches and things, just to be able to watch our friends run through town, and it's so much fun. And you see signs, you know, when they get to Sequoia Hills, we'll see all kinds of fun signs. Same thing when they're out to Island Home, when we pass by Trailhead Beer, they usually have a gigantic party. It's really great way for people to be involved. Maybe they can't run this year, but this is a great way for them to participate. And I always laugh whenever we're out painting arrows, because literally Jason takes it upon himself to paint every arrow for the turns. When people will come out of their houses and be like, it's marathon time. Good to see y'all on my street painting green arrows.
That's right. You know, it's that time of year. Well, they just passed the 1 mile mark. Out front right now, no stranger to leading, especially when it comes to the half marathon. That is our 3-time defending champion out in front right now.
And he's out in front again. His PR is a 109. The last couple of years, he has run about a 111, 113. So this is not necessarily a PR course. Just again, it depends on his level of fitness, but he's out fast, so we could see about the same time frame.
Look at him go.
Yeah, Alan Carreno, and he's from Vegas, right?
Yes.
So, and he makes the trek out here every year to run, and I'm sure as long as he keeps winning this thing, we'll see him coming back to defend the title.
He does. I mean, and that, you know, that's great to see him come in. He's not obviously he's not scared of our course.
No. He's probably welcome after running in the desert.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, let's go. He's probably really happy it's raining a little bit.
He probably loves this rain. You know, and it is a beautiful, we love our city. It's a beautiful city. It's a nice course. It's a scenic course.
It's a very scenic course. We've been very fortunate that we are able to run through these gorgeous neighborhoods, run through the Greenway, the time of year that we're in with all of the flowers, the dogwood trees. It's just, it's perfect.
Here are the women who are in charge. Amanda Martin is leading the way right now.
Yes, and so she holds our course record for the half marathon, and she actually just signed up on Monday, so we weren't sure that she was going to be here. She kind of wavered back and forth and was texting with Jason, but got signed up earlier this week, and I believe she's in great shape, so she should have a great day as well.
Yeah, she's had a lot of success here. Let me ask you this, Christy. You know, when you talk to a lot of marathoners or even half marathoners, they'll tell you that last 10 miles is when it really becomes that mental game, right? You've got the aches, the pains. But a lot of them will also say it's the first couple of miles as well. You don't want to throw your entire game plan out the window. You're excited, the adrenaline's going, especially for the people, maybe not the elite runners who have never done this before. You don't want to get to mile 4 and thinking, man, I'm not sure I'm going to make it any further.
You get caught up. So my oldest is running this morning, and my advice to him via text, because I haven't seen him yet today, was don't get so excited about the race and racing. This is meant just to be a long run for him. He races every week for other, in his track. This is not meant to be a race. It's meant to be just a nice, easy long run to get the miles in. So my advice was, please don't get caught up in miles 1 and 2 with the whole crowd surging forward. Just stick to your pace and do your thing.
So much is about the mind.
It really is.
About
You
the
have
mind.
to overcome. I know, like last night with the 5K, I probably made the mistake. I started with my playlist with AC/DC.
Yep.
Probably should have gone with the Carpenters or something like that to ease into it.
That's a good point.
But
Don't
yeah,
start out too hard.
Don't start out too hard. Exactly.
Yes, I had a friend pace me. This was years and years ago when Jackson was a baby, and it was just a 5K. And I just wanted to see what I could run, and he got out in front of me, and he kept saying, "Hold." He's like, "You're trying, you're going too fast. Let's give it a minute." And in my mind, I'm like, I got to catch all these people who've passed, already started in front of me. But then by mile 3, they were all coming back to me, and we were passing people all the way down the stretch and to the finish line. And so he was right, like. Settle in, stick to your race pace, and do what your body can do. And so, we tell the athletes that all the time where they're running a 1600, an 800, or a marathon. You know what your body is going to be able to do, but stick to your race pace, because that's when you get into trouble, is when you go out too fast. And then, like you said, you get to mile 4 and you think, oh no, this is bad.
Well, as we watch Alan Carino here, let's talk about the training it takes. For people watching, every year we have people call saying, this inspired us to get up off the couch and go. What kind of training does it take to take part in a marathon?
So the young ladies that we talked to before the race started that were in college, and she said it was a lot bigger time commitment than she anticipated. It can be, yes. So a half marathon, I think, for most folks is a reasonable situation. So you're going to need to do a long run once a week. That's going to build every week. So you need to give yourself about 16 weeks to build up to the distance. Some people like to go all the way up to the half marathon distance before they run a half marathon. Others want to do their half marathon on the day of the race. But we always encourage at least a 12-mile run before you get to race day. So you build to that, and then you come down in a taper about the last 2 or 3 weeks. So that's why you give yourself those extra few weeks. You build up, and then you give the body a little bit of a break to rest before race day. For a marathon is a full-time job. So it's been at least over a decade since I've run a full marathon, and it's just the time commitment that goes into that. So on a weekend when I'm doing a 20-plus mile run, that's 4 or 5 hours, because I'm not trying to run at a race pace. I'm just trying to get the mileage in, the time on my legs. And so to be able to do the full marathon, even for our elite athletes, it's still 70, 80 miles a week, 100 plus for some of them. It's really that commitment of either getting up in the morning before you go to work, or doing it after work, or sometimes both. And then a long run on the weekends, it's going to be 3 or 4 hours worth of time to do the runs, to do the stretching, to get cooled down and replenished.
Alan, right now you see him out in front right now, running here along Neyland, passing the university campus there by Thompson Bowling at Food City Center. Neyland is probably one of the flatter areas, and I say that, and you probably can't see me with hand quotes, because it's actually it's deceiving, because it's actually it is uphill. It's a very gradual climb. Of course, when you get closer to Kingston Pike, it really you start to feel the climb there, but it is a gradual climb here along Neyland.
It's a gradual climb, and as he comes around the turn near the UT Gardens, that's where it really begins that incline up to Kingston Pike, and then from there it's an incline all the way to Cherokee Boulevard.
All right, as we watch him continue with that amazing pace, let's go to our Don Dare. Don, tell us where you are at this moment.
Well, Lori, right now we're at the Food City Thompson Bowling Arena turnaround. Dave's going to pan over here to the left, and you're going to see the runners doing a quick turnaround, and they're going to go down Neyland Drive the other way as they go up toward Kingston Pike. And you can see them running strong right now, because they've just come down that nice hill off the university, so they feel good. Feel good so far, and it's not raining real hard. And over here we have some cheerleaders, don't we?
We do.
Who are you cheering for?
Abby Prickle and Ava Erickson.
Are we going to see them soon?
They will be coming very shortly. We're tracking them on the app.
Where are they? Do we know yet?
Yeah, they're
coming down this road right now.
They're coming down the road, so I can see them, can't you? They look like they're
we're cheering.
I see them right now. Yeah, I think they're in the shorts. How many races has she been in?
Three. Abby's been in
All right.
and Ava's, this is her first one.
And this is what this is all about, is the cheering groups along the way. We have a nice little cheerer down there, and the runners just feed off this emotion, feed off the emotion of the folks who are lining the raceway here on Neyland Drive. And you can just look at all of those folks down there running on a beautiful Sunday morning and a little bit of rain. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we'll hold off for a while anyway, and everyone's feeling good a mile and a half into the race. Okay, here she comes.
Come on, girls! Good job! Woo! Way to go, girls!
I suppose that was...
That was our girls, those two in the blue, yes. Soon to be daughter-in-law and a girlfriend of the other son.
And how many races have they been in, you said?
Abby's been in this is her third, and Ava, this is her first.
And how many times have they been in the Knoxville Marathon?
This is their first.
First time.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're doing well, aren't they?
Yes, they are. We're excited.
All right, well, we'll see them at the end.
Yes, we will, for sure.
Thank you.
Hopefully in the front of the pack.
Thank you all very much. Lori and Bo, it's just an exciting time to be here on this beautiful Sunday morning. Back to you.
Oh, thank you, Don. Don knows what it feels like to be out there. He's been a long time runner. And, you know, what's going through their minds right now, Christy? What would you be thinking?
What have I done?
A mile and a half in.
Yeah, what have I done? Exactly.
What have I done? Oh my gosh. I think the first couple of miles, it's really, I mean, you're very excited. We talked about, you know, controlling your pace to make sure you don't get out too fast. And really, that's what it is. It's all adrenaline that first little bit. I mean, it's the whole experience is a roller coaster ride of excitement, and then again, the what have I done, or, you know, and I've had races where I felt great from start to finish and thought, man, I could do that all over again. And I've had races where, you know, just last year when I ran a half marathon, I did not read the course highlights that well, and was very shocked by some of the course, and was in the middle of it thought I would like to be done. And but there was no cell phone service, so I couldn't call anybody to come get me, so I had to finish it. You know, but on a day like today, you're just hoping that the rain holds off, and you're just you're just out there to have a good time. Like I said, this is a celebration, and most folks, the folks that we see up front here are thinking about pace. So Jason says that when he's racing, it's always a math equation. If I do this pace, if I do this pace, if I go to a 5:56, then it's going to be, my finish time is going to be this. If I go to a 5:30, it's going to be this. If I can be progressive and run faster each mile, here's where I'll be. So for someone like him, he is doing literally math problems the entire time,
in
every step.
Totally different headspace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that cracks me up because I'm like, I could never, that's not something I think about. I want to hit these mile splits, and that's pretty much where I land. But he's very strategic about his racing, and so I'm sure that that's what they're doing. They're in their head thinking, okay, mile one was this time. We need this time to hit our goal.
And what's interesting too when you watch this is, especially for maybe not so much for the elite runners, but for people like us that are out there, and you've looked at you mentioned looking at the race course map, and you see what's coming. Each turn, each hill, whatever, you've plotted that out. You kind of like, and it gives you a different point. All right, now I've got to get to this. When I get to this, I realize I've only got this. So knowing that, it helps you at least realize, where you are on the map and what's to come. So there are no surprises like that. Again, you're going to see runners today with family members, running with them. Kind of describe here what we're looking at here, Chris.
So there's a group, I believe it's national, and we have
Right.
a local chapter called Ainsley's Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's someone who can run is pushing someone who doesn't have the opportunity to be able to use their legs to run, but still gives them the same race experience. So they will do everything up to a marathon, and they will do 5Ks. And so we see them at almost every race that KTC has to offer. And then certainly every year for the marathon, we have several with the weather, I think we probably have less today than we anticipated, but generally we have 5 or 6 for marathon day.
I know last night we had some with the 5K, and the entire group, all of us just stopped and applauded. They left first, to get out in front of everybody. But it was just a great moment last night. We had that early start for them, and just seeing everybody come together. Just not the people along the side of the roads, but all the runners too. We were all just like energized. So
just a wonderful thing all around.
it is.
It
really is.
It's a great experience. As we watch, we're going to take you to break. Stay with us, everyone. Alan Carino's still in front there. He won in 2022, 23, and 24. Is he going to do it again in 25? So far, so good. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Some people run in shorts, some run with their shirt.
Such as?
But we think this is Truett Haynes.
Yes.
It looks like going the shirtless jeans look, but you know what? He is cruising along. It's what you feel comfortable in.
It's what you feel comfortable in. And I don't have a super close-up, but they look like real jeans. I was like, they could be like running leggings that look like jeans.
We're getting a closer look here. Bo, what do you think?
Well, I'm looking here too, and I'm noticing his bib, which is a black bib, which means that is a marathon.
That is a marathoner.
Running a marathon in jeans, Christy.
I've seen some crazy things over the years, so we'll see how he does.
Those are not jeggings, Bo.
No, okay.
Those are the real deal.
Those are the real
that
deal.
was a question. Are those jeggings? They're not. So
extra impressed then. That is for sure. Looks like Alan Carino has a running partner now after breaking away from the pack. The pack started to catch up with him a little bit. So this is Chase Bolton.
And he's from Kentucky.
Yeah, out of Kentucky.
From Campbellsville.
Now either Alan has slowed down or Chase has gotten out of the pack and made a move.
And could this be something too, like you said, Alan may have slowed down. Maybe they said, listen, I'm going to break away, but we're going to, if we can hook up, we're going to run together and pace each other.
It's way more fun when you have someone that can push you through the race and that you can work with. And so maybe they know each other, maybe they've talked about it, and sometimes you don't know the person at all, and you just figure out that you have the same pace, you're going for the same goals, and you fall in together like they have here.
It's interesting to watch the different styles of running as well. You just kind of do what works for you.
You do what works for you. And what's lovely in our area as well is there's lots of folks that can help with that. There's the Run Knox program through Knoxville Track Club. There's Knoxville Endurance. There's private coaching. And then on the other side, the physical therapists, plenty within our area through Covenant Health or through other groups. So folks can get their gait measured, they can get their gait looked at by somebody that's a professional that can help them with their running. And
what kind of shoes you need?
Yes,
the whole bit.
Absolutely. Some have that great big wide stance. You can see, they've probably run through college. They've got that great leg stride, and others of us just kind of shuffle along. But you know what? It gets us from the start to the finish line.
That's right.
You may just to point out when we're showing you the runners here, you heard us mention earlier the black bib was for the full marathoners as you're trying to distinguish who's who. The white bib, those are the half marathoners, and you also see a green bib out there as well. Those will be the folks that are going to be running the relay. So, and that's broken up as a 4-member relay. Mm-hmm. And they each run. It's not everybody's running the exact same distance. It's kind of broken up into different lengths.
And with the course changes this year, they're a little bit closer to the same distance, so everyone's running an average of a 10K. Previously, with the course, how we had it last year and years before, there was one leg that was closer to 8 miles, and the last leg was closer to 5 miles, but now we've evened it out, and everyone is right about a 10K, give or take a tenth or so. But yeah, we've got some great relay teams out there. I know we've got some that are absolutely going for times. I think there's a team of ladies who are trying to beat the course record of what we have, so we may see them with a surge. I know they had a plan trying to get to where they could catch up either with Amanda or with the lead marathon female, so we may see them in a few minutes.
We have the moms group. Look for Dusty Rose shirts that they're wearing today. Fit for Mom. We had them in the other day. An amazing group, and one or two of those are taking part in the relay. So keep your eyes peeled for them.
So again, you're looking at Alan Carino and Chase Bolton as they are making their way. Well, they're already, I guess you could say, in the Holston, or not Holston Hills, but in Sequoia Hills, coming down Kingston Pike, getting ready to make that turn into the neighborhood, which when you get in there, we should know, it's great. There's a few hills, but it's a lot of downhill as you're running toward the river, right?
Sure, Bo.
Until you get to Knowlton. Until you get to Knowlton. There's a sizable hill in the middle of that.
It looks like 90 degrees. I know it's not, but it looks like it, doesn't it? It does.
It looks like it. Now they're making that turn, heading into the neighborhood there, it looks like. So
they've just turned into Cherokee Boulevard, into Sequoia Hills. We laugh because Knowlton is the one that's memorable.
Right.
You can see it. It's right there in front of you. I think the one that's the sneakiest and the worst on the half marathon course is coming out of Tyson Park into Fort Sanders. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that when you make that left turn that it's a little bit of an uphill coming out of the park, and then it's uphill, and up, and you keep thinking, well, I'm at the top.
I want to say it's like 22nd or something like that. But yes, and there's two of them.
Yes.
You get over the first one and you're like, oh no,
yeah.
There's one more.
You're not done yet. So that's the one I think, especially where it's at on the course, I think is the one that's harder than Knowlton. Knowlton gets a lot of love from the community. People come out, they have their parties, there's lots of noise, so it's a little easier to get up that one. There's not as many people on that hill going into Fort Sanders, so it makes it a little bit harder. It's more of a struggle.
is there to cheer you on. That's about the only cheering section you see when you're running through there. By the way, just a reminder for you, that's Amanda Martin on the right side. She is right now leading for the women for the half marathon, and you've got the two male leaders right now for the half marathon as well on the left side of your screen, so we're keeping a close watch on them. We'll get you up to date on what's going on as far as the marathon leaders. That will be breaking off once they get back toward closer to World's Fair Park, and that's where we'll see that separation.
And as a reminder, Amanda won the women's half marathon in 2023, didn't win it last year. So hopefully she'll make a comeback. She didn't run, so didn't win. Elizabeth Herndon won last year for the women in the half marathon.
And we have in the full marathon, in 2022, Gina Rouse won the half marathon, but she has also won the full marathon several times, 3 times, I believe, and she is running the full marathon
4
today.
times.
4 times, you're right.
Wow,
because we gave her bib number 5 because we're hoping this is win number 5.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. No superstition in running at all.
I believe that you have to finish higher than your bib assignment.
Interesting.
Was always the thing within the house is that, so if you're a bib if you were assigned number 1, then you have to finish first. If you're assigned number 10, you have to be.
I was bid 5,336 yesterday.
I believe you were over that
I finished
number.
higher than that. Yeah, so thank you for giving me such a large number.
Way to
I
go,
believe
Bo.
you nailed that one. But yes, we did it because Gina was running, and we were hoping for win number 5, so she got bib number 5 for this year.
We can see now she is in Sequoia Hills as well.
Yes.
And again, it is kind of a windy downhill as you make your way in there. And a lot of people don't realize, you think, oh man, I'm at the downhill portion. I can breathe it. And yes, there is something to that. But now you're working a different set of muscles. And especially later in the race, downhill can actually be, at least for me, can be more painful than going uphill.
It is. Honestly, the downhill where you're really working your quads and it's more of a stopping motion. I know that sounds counterintuitive because you're running, but you're stopping with every step so that you don't tumble down the hill.
It's like you're driving with the parking brake partially on.
Almost,
That's a great way to put it.
Yes, that's a great way. I mean, it really is.
So
That's
you don't
a great
fall
way to
flat
put
on
it.
your face, right?
And especially for these steeper hills, when you're coming down, I mean, that's what you've mentioned, is that they're coming down, and from the angle you can tell that it's fairly steep, but when you're running that section of Cherokee Boulevard, it's a very steep downhill. And so it's a stopping motion, so you're using more of your quadriceps, and then you'll go back to using that backside with your hamstrings and your glutes when they're going up the hills.
Mile
And,
5 now.
He's past
Yeah, I
Allen
was
at
gonna
this
say.
point, so good for Chase. I tried to look him up. There wasn't a lot of information that I could find on Strava or on the across the internet about him. So we hope to learn a little bit more about him as he's running today. Usually while we do this, I'll get text messages from friends that give me some background on people that they find that I don't find. So we may. Our banana friends are back this year.
The running bananas. All right, as we watch the bananas do their thing, let's check back in with Stan.
What's up, guys? I've joined the Banana Crew. What's y'all's name?
Banana One.
Banana One. Why are you guys the Banana Crew?
This is actually our 3rd year doing this. We're really out here to bring some joy. And be honest, we're peeling good. We're peeling good.
You're peeling good. I've heard you guys say a lot of banana puns. Do you guys have like a lot of them, or like, or how many more do y'all have in the holster?
Yeah, we don't like to publicly say how many we have in the holster just to keep a little bit of mystery. Okay. But there are enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what did you call this curve right here?
This is the biggest banana curve on the race. It's a big moment for us.
So how many bananas are you going to eat during the race?
I've got to. We'll see how many I get from other people cheering us on.
How many people would you guys want to join the Banana Crew next year, Banana One next year?
So the goal is in 30 years to have 1,000 people.
Okay.
That's ambition.
30 years?
All right, as you guys can tell, this has been a yearly tradition for them, and they're. Do you guys go for PR? Or do you guys just go for just for the fun of it?
Strictly vibes. Encouragement.
Strictly vibes. Okay. The vibes are good. And okay, so you've got 2 bananas right now. How many do you think you'll plan on eating over the course of the race?
Maybe 7.
He said 7 bananas. 7 bananas. Would you? They're going. This lady said they're going bananas. Hey, you're wearing a yellow shirt. You could probably join them.
There's one. Not me, her.
All right, they're having a lot of fun. No, any other fruits would y'all consider, or just bananas?
PBO. We're allies with orange. Not big fans of apple, but team banana for sure.
All right, Team Banana for life. I'll let them continue running, but this has been a lot of fun. I'll send it back to you guys.
Oh my goodness, thank you, Stan. Did they really say they're peeling good?
They're peeling
They're
good.
peeling
Yes,
good.
yes.
And here's a little bit of trivia for you as we watched those bananas. There are 400 pounds of bananas at the race today for folks. And they mentioned oranges, 375 pounds.
They said
They're
they've
friendly.
allied.
They're allies with
allies.
oranges.
They weren't crazy about
They don't
apples.
like the apples,
Right.
though.
No,
That's interesting.
we won't mention the apples.
Learn something new every day.
I have questions about that I would like to ask Banana One. Maybe I will find him after the race and find out why we don't like apples.
But it'll be great to see 1,000 of them.
It would be
down
great
the
to
line
see
at
1,000
some
of
point.
them.
Wouldn't it? That really would be something. Again, you're taking a look here. These are the leaders of the men's division for the half marathon. Chase Bolton out of Campbellsville, Kentucky. Saw him just check his watch there just a moment ago. They're probably about 5.5 miles right now. Behind him now, the 3-time defending champion, Alan Carreno, out of Vegas. And we've gone split screen, so let's throw in Amanda Martin as well. She has won the half marathon before, and see her taking a drink there. But right now they're in the Sequoia Hills area, where again, this is one of those neighborhoods that they turn out to cheer on these runners, and each little borough or neighborhood, whatever you want to call it, they are competing as well. And these runners, when they're done, they will be able to go online, or they will be asked, where did you find you had the biggest cheering sections? Who really motivated you? Because there's a competition within a competition here.
Yeah. And it goes into planning for next year. And looking at Amanda's time from 2023, 1:16:18, and looking over, since 2005.
She holds our course record.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was a great day. She has the course record. Again, she's in great shape. I know she's been training for other various races, so we could see the same today. If the conditions stay as they are right now, we've got a good chance of seeing some really good times. I mean, it's not hot, it's not pouring down rain. These are great conditions for a runner, and for race directors, we don't mind this either. And we had seen Amanda with her a few minutes ago, had been Alex Morgan, who is a coach for Heritage High School out in Blount County. He does cross country and track. Just adore Alex. So I don't know if he's gone ahead of her or if she has left him behind. Either is possible at this point.
We'll try to find him.
That's the fun part, is that you see the changing too, where she'll be with someone and then she'll be separated, just like Alan and Chase were together, and then they're separated. They maybe come back together on the Greenway. It's that battle for the top spot.
Can you hear some of the crowd there cheering? Got the cowbells out every little bit. Adds just that much more to some of these runners as they are looking for a little extra something as they're making their way here through Sequoia Hills.
All right, we want to send things over to Don Dare now. He's at the vet school, just to give you an idea. Don, take it away.
Well, Lori, we're in the middle of a rock concert right here at mile number 3, and if these runners need a lot of loving, these guys over here are providing them a lot of loving. Led Zeppelin, this is their roll, yeah. I tell you, if you need a spark, these runners are getting that spark. You can see thumbs up. And at mile number 3, they need a little bit of enthusiasm, and they're getting it right now here at the Ag Campus at the University of Tennessee as they head up to Kingston Pike and then onto the rough part of this race. A lot of loving is going on. And fortunately, the rain again has held up, and you can see hundreds, perhaps 1,000 runners in front of you right now. Thumbs up as the Led Zeppelin cover band provides these runners with a lot of loving.
All right, thank you, Don. Rock on out there. 22 bands, by the way, are along the course.
Yes.
We have one here at WATE. We're part of the course this year, but that's on the back half. We'll talk about that later.
That's right. Right now we need to take a break, though, catch our breath a little bit, and we'll be back with more of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon.
Welcome back, everyone. The Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon 2025 well underway.
Yeah, and we're giving you a live look right now as we're running with some of the runners here. Or we're not running, but we're following along, heading through Sequoia Hills. It feels like it. I'm exhausted already. Again, another one of the bands where you mentioned, what was it, 22 bands?
22 bands. Big thank you to the Party Boys DJ show. They always come through for us, and it just adds something to the spirit and momentum, really. If you're
really
a runner,
does.
it gives you that extra boost.
And Patrick Jr., who starts and finishes the race, does a really great job of getting everybody going and then welcoming to that finish line.
Hey, I want to check back in with Stan Smith. Not only following the runners, he's following some of the top cheerleaders along the route as well.
Guys, I think I have the rowdiest cheerleader right here. Okay, so this is Sarah. So why do you cheer these people on? You don't know all of them, you know?
I don't know all of them, but I love cheering. I've already lost my voice, and it's only, what time is it?
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock. My voice is starting gone.
So do you know this guy? Just cheer these people on right here.
Okay. Oh, let's go, buddy! Oh!
This is what it's been like all morning for Sarah. We've seen her cheer on her boyfriend. We've seen her cheer on the banana people that we just saw. There's just anybody, because Sarah's just the biggest cheerleader.
I'm here for the people.
How hyped up are you on caffeine right now?
Nothing. Not a thing. I'm just high on life.
So just high on life and vibes. That's what we like to see. And we're starting to see just more and more runners come in, and you're not tiring at all, though. Your voice is giving out.
I'm bringing the energy. Yeah, my voice is gone, but my energy is not. Okay?
So even when these people may be slowing down, what are the words of encouragement you'll have for them just to keep pushing through?
Well, is this live? Oh my gosh! Sorry. What I was gonna say is inappropriate, but I won't say that.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is still a family program. So, all right. So, how many of these people do you actually know, though? This is crazy to me that you're just cheering on anybody.
Anyone and everyone. I actually am a runner, so the running community is near and dear to my heart. So I do know quite a few people. But
Okay,
not
good.
everyone.
Good deal. Would you ever do the marathon next year?
I did it last year, but
Did you bring this same energy last year?
You better believe it. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So Sarah's just been cheered on for so long during this race, and there's probably still several more miles left to go, but she's just going to continue being rowdy, loud, and proud, just like as she always been. But we might need to save her voice for a little bit. But this is Sarah over at Kingston Pike and Neyland. She'll be cheering you on no matter what. We got so many more people going here too. Oh my gosh, it's getting so much louder now. I can't hear anybody, so I'm just going to sit on back to you guys. This has been a lot of fun.
All right, Stan, thank you. Sarah, thank you.
I think she said she's heading to Knowlton. I think I caught that
yes.
right there at the end. That's
and
where
you
she's
know
going next.
Sarah, and we've seen her in years
I was
past.
going to say, Sarah moves around the course and takes that same energy everywhere she goes on the course. And yeah, she's been part of our running community for years. We absolutely adore her. And again, these are the fun parts that you get to see. It's race organizers who are back at the start and finish line. That's all they see. They don't get to see these great parts. So then when this is over, they'll go back and watch this later this evening or sometime this week, and they'll be able to see their friends out and about. And they'll be able to see Sarah. And it's such a great thing because we're capturing one of the best days in Knoxville every year.
Yes, just the big picture for them to
really
savor
is.
when they get home and rest up. You're looking now at Chase Bolton from Campbellsville, Kentucky.
He has really opened up a lead here
He has
on our
opened
defending
up the
champion.
lead, and he is not afraid of Knowlton Hill at all.
He has got a good pace going up the hill. This is our other leader, Amanda Martin. She is leading in the women's division right now, again making her way through Sequoia Hills. So again, both right now leaders for the half marathon out on their own right now, and we're going to take a break. We're going to keep you up to date on how things are progressing as they make their way up Knowlton Hill and continue on in the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon.
Yeah.
But like you look football player holding a football.
Welcome back, everyone, to our marathon coverage. You are watching Chase Bolton. If this looks familiar to you, he is on Kingston Pike right now.
That's right, just past Western Plaza. Getting ready to make that right-hand turn. They're going to kind of make their way. He's slowly but surely making his way back toward the UT Rec area. There's a greenway back through there, and that will actually bring him back toward downtown.
Yes, so this is the point at which, you're right, he turns to go back downtown. He's going to follow the greenway just in a moment when he makes this turn. Is going to get on the greenway and stay on the greenway through to Tyson Park, and then he'll weave through Fort Sanders and make his way back to that finish line. And I'm really impressed the lead that he has. I know we've been talking a lot about Alan Carino, the three-time defending champion, who actually broke away from the pack right out of the get-go, basically from the start. But
now we don't see him.
We don't
now
see him
we
at
don't
all.
see him.
Chase has really opened up quite the lead and is on his own. And the big thing now will be, can he keep the pace up, by himself? He has nobody really to work with, pace himself with. So you see him keep checking his watch. So he knows he's out there on his own. He's trying to just, I guess, motivate him. There he was.
Checking it
right
a lot.
there.
He's checking and he's looking at his pace times. We talked a few minutes ago. Jason, my husband, the race director, talks about doing the math equations in his head, and that's probably what Chase is doing right now. I'm at this point in the race. If I run this pace, if I do this, then I'm going to get this time. Interestingly enough, and again, because Alan doesn't live here, we don't know how his races have gone this year or within the last year, but he's generally a 1:11 to a 1:13 half marathoner on this course. Okay. So if he were in that same pace range today, that means that Chase is well ahead of that.
And Chase's seed time is 1:10.
Is 1:10. So we could very well see, if he can stay on this pace, something like that when he gets to the finish line. But he looks amazing, very strong. Again, checking his watch, but I'm guessing that's just he's trying to figure out his times and finish time, projected finish time as he comes down to the greenway. Yeah. This is going to be the part where we talked earlier, the yellow flag. This is where that comes into play, because when it's raining, the greenway can be a little bit muddy. It can have some spots that are a little bit slick. So this is going to be where he has to watch his footing through this area for about the next 2 miles, 2.5 miles till he gets to Tyson Park. Some of the bridges they have like roof material on them to keep you from sliding. But after prolonged periods of rain, sometimes they get a little bit slick. So this is why we have the yellow flag, is for these areas of the course.
I'm trying to tell, we did a story on super shoes, and I don't know if you at home know what super shoes are. But let's talk about that. I can't tell if he's wearing them or not.
I can't tell either. My guess is that he's probably wearing a racing flat, which is almost like no shoe. It's a very, very lightweight shoe, very thin sole to it, and it allows you to have a little more spring in your step. Super shoes do the same thing. They just have a little more cushion for folks who need
a very thick sole.
Yeah, for folks who need that, because not everybody can run in a racing flat just because of the way our feet are made. So.
Yeah, I mean, they actually feel like they are propelling you.
Yes,
I know, Lori, you and I had a chance to try some on recently.
Let's take a look at that.
Super shoes are like the big thing in running right now, and people have found significant benefit from it. They feel like they're faster. They feel like they can train better in them. They're more lightweight, so people are racing in them and feeling like their times are getting faster. So the proof is in the pudding. Okay. You guys both have running shoes on.
Yes.
Yep. So think about how they feel now, and then when we start to
They're Hokas.
we start to
Pretty
unbox.
good.
Yeah, as we start to unbox, we'll see how light they feel in your hands.
Okay.
We'll try them on. We'll jog around in them a little bit, and then you tell me if you think you could run faster in them.
All right, let's do some unboxing.
Yeah,
it's like Christmas morning.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
So we've got On Cloud.
This thing weighs like nothing.
Yeah, it legitimately like weighs nothing.
That's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
But look at that, look, the heel too. Even
I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, all of your weight is like in the heels of these, and you can't bend them. That's the thing. Like, they'll all have that carbon plate in them, and that's supposed to help you like spring forward, be a little faster.
Okay.
So they definitely like skimp on the details on the top. Like, there's not much.
It's all about here.
There's not much in the upper. It's all in here.
Right.
Okay.
So we've each got a couple pair to try.
Those. Let's see what these are.
These are
We've got a couple of New Balance ones. New Balance is a longtime sponsor of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. So
now you will find me when I'm way behind or way out in front. You will find me. But look at that.
The colorways have really become something in this.
Wow.
For certain people, they'll try on a super shoe and they'll be like, I don't see much benefit in it. But it really comes down to like what your form looks like.
Right.
If you're a heel striker, if you're a toe striker, you might find different benefit from it. And just like any kind of running shoe, it's probably trial and error. Like,
no, but that really is something. But I can see how it would work. It's just different.
Yeah,
I can see my fingers.
You look at the curve of it and you go, well, if I hit back here, it's naturally going to kind of make me want to continue to roll forward.
Right.
So they're all kind of shaped like that.
So there you go, and let me tell you, these things are not inexpensive.
No.
You make an investment if you're a big believer in these,
Right.
and you'll see some of these shoes out there today.
And they only use these maybe for 1, 2, maybe 3 races at most. They don't.
They're not for a lot of miles.
yeah,
So it would be the
exactly.
same thing as I mentioned racing flats. Those are not for a lot of miles. Those are for a workout and a race day, and you maybe get a couple of races out of those depending on the distance. And then you're moving on to the next pair. So we do say, you've said investment. That's one of the things I tell everybody for somebody who's at home watching us that maybe wants to try running. After today, go to Runner's Market, go to the Long Run, go to Fleet Feet, go someplace and let them fit you for the shoes that are going to work
Look
best.
at your gait,
for
look at your feet.
Yes, they'll watch you walk across the room and see how you land. And then that's the best investment you can make as a runner, is your shoes.
All right.
All right, stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Pump your arms. We're running up Knowlton right now. This is the hill that everybody talks about. For the half marathoners, this will be one of the big things they'll have to tackle. The marathoners, they have so many more hills to come. But Knowlton is one that really sticks out. Huge cheering sections through here as well.
Oh, they're proud of Knowlton.
They are proud.
They are proud of Knowlton. They love being there. They love hanging out. You'll see all those signs. You see, like, this is where I talked about the brunch parties. Yep. Sometimes there are mimosas. Sometimes there are other beverages being had up and down the hill here. But it's really, like, people have embraced this as one of the most fun elements of the entire course.
And they're really eyeing, you can see the top. You can see, I don't want to call it the finish line, but it is the finish line for Knowlton. When you come back out and things start to flatten out, at least for a short time where you can catch your breath. So
it's a feeling of relief.
It is a feeling of relief, and it really does. What's lovely about when you get to the top of Knowlton is you do get a net downhill through to Tyson Park. So once you've come down onto the Greenway, that's going to be a net downhill into Tyson Park. You go back to that hill that we mentioned earlier, coming up 22nd. But you get about 2.5, 3 miles of a nice downhill flat section, which is really hard to come by in our area.
So that's your nice recovery mode.
It's your recovery.
That's your prize for climbing Knowlton.
When we talked about the roller coaster earlier, it's, you know, you're coming up this hill and you're thinking, what have I done? What am I doing? And you don't want to stop and walk because people are cheering. So, you know, pride takes over and you're running towards the top of this hill. And then you get onto the Greenway and you're like, oh, this is why I'm here. This is amazing. Before you head into that next hill.
Yeah, get a good look here as they're coming up to the stoplight there. You're going to make that left onto Kingston Pike. Always a good number of people out here cheering, just saying congratulations, you did it. And I know the one year I ran many years ago in 2016, this is where my family camped out, and it was so much of a relief to see them.
It is. It's so much fun to see your friends and family, especially after climbing that hill and coming out of Cherokee Boulevard.
And speaking of camping out, let's go to Don Deere, who's camping out. Really, I think he's at Knowlton at one of the water stops there. Don?
Well, Lori, we are at Knowlton Drive, and the expression on the runners' faces, exuberance that I made it up this hill that you've been talking about, grimaces that, oh Lord, I have a long way to go. But right as they get up at the top here, they have the professional water hander outers. And with me right now is one of the leaders of the water handers outers is Kate. Tell me, what training have you gone through to do this, Kate?
I've been practicing handing out water past couple weeks. Got to get the arm extended out. Really got to get it to them. Yeah, so I've been working on it.
Let's see, how much water do we have in here? Just half?
About half a cup.
Anything?
In each one?
Just
yeah,
that's
and we've got Gatorade too. Yeah.
And this is, you've been doing this for quite a while?
Yeah, ever since this morning. Yeah.
You're great, and you're with what?
Performance Training Incorporated.
Okay, well over here we have some other folks who have been watching their favorite runner as they come down Kingston Pike. And who are you for here?
We're for Matt Paskoff.
And who are you tracking?
Matt Paskoff, he's our local renegade marathoner.
And we saw him go by just a few moments ago. How was he doing?
He looked great. He looked great. He was smiling, took his hat off for us, gave us a little wave.
He's running the full?
Yes, absolutely.
We're at mile marker number 8. What encouragement would you give him if you could talk to him?
Stay the course. Stay the course. Godspeed.
And what is it that you enjoy about this?
We enjoy it because we're a community of yoga practitioners, and Matt is one of our own, and he works so hard at everything he does, from yoga to training to just being fully present in life.
He's always there, so we always say, you know, he works for waste management, so we got to say, pick it up, garbage man.
Waste management gets kudos here as he continues on the marathon.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, let's thank you very much, and let's take a look back out here. And we are going back out to Knowlton, the professional water hander outers, and we see them with their right arms extended, and they're doing very well. Bo and Lori, it looks good at mile marker number 8.
Oh boy, does it ever, Don. Thank you so much. And if you're wondering about how much water, I think I'm your queen of trivia right now, thanks to Christy. 750 gallons of water out there. And then I'm looking to see how many cups. We do have 1,300 total volunteers out there. There are 16 total water stops. And did you know there is a wait list every year to host the water stop?
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
It's so much fun.
It's a party as well. And, this event can't happen, Christy, without all of these volunteers.
No, it really can't. And for the water stops, again, we have the people who, every year the groups want to do it because it's a great team building activity. And then it's everything from picking up your t-shirt to putting out cones to putting out water. All the things that go on behind the scenes that people don't see that just magically happen. So, there were people out at 4 o'clock this morning putting out the water stops.
Wow.
And so it's all these things that you don't see on the front end. You just get to see the final show on the front side. On the back side, there's so many things happening.
Well, you're taking a look at our leaders right now. And again, we are focusing on
Chase Bolton.
Chase Bolton. He's at Tyson Park right now.
That's right. He's entering this side of Tyson Park. He is on his way.
Go ahead.
I was saying his best time, so I did find him on Strava. His best time is 1:10:17 for the half.
Okay.
His best marathon was a 2:29. So great shape. His best 5K was a 14:50. So he's an incredible athlete. Definitely on pace to have a great day here today.
I looked him up on Instagram because, again, he's not familiar to us here. He's an assistant cross-country and track coach at Campbellsville University in Campbellsville, Kentucky.
And he is getting ready to make his way into Fort Sanders. We'll check back with him coming up in a moment because he's got those 2 hills you were talking about just a moment ago, Christy, that he's going to have to tackle. But right now, back on the Greenway right now, again, we're looking at Amanda Martin. She has been leading really since
the beginning.
The gun fired to start this thing.
And we knew, so it's interesting when we talk about coming into race day, because coming into race day before she signed up, the ladies who were in what I call my watch list were all about a 123 to 125 half marathon. So they may all be together in a pack back behind Amanda, but having Amanda come in, she's going to be out ahead of everybody. It's just who she is.
She's a record setter.
She is a record setter.
She's fun to watch.
And in great shape. Yeah. So that's it. She's training through, a lot of our ladies that are local are training through for other marathons or other races that are coming up. So they use this as a training run. But again, once she signed up, we pretty much knew who was going to be our female winner.
As we say, look at her go.
Look at her go.
Wow. All right, let's send things back out to Stan. Stan, where are you at this point?
Hey, Laurie, right now I'm on in the scenic Sequoia Hills area right now. All right, it's your birthday. How old are you? How old are you? You don't look a day older than 30. You look great. Thank you. Okay, so you would think that for some of these runners, the setting would kind of set in for them that you're at 4 miles in or so right about now, but no, they're still pushing through. We got more cheering going on right here. What's your name?
Troy,
how are you doing? Feeling good? All right, he's feeling good. Look at this. Hey, Brian, look at this right here. This man in the fireman's uniform right here. That is very impressive.
That is impressive.
To run this far already in full fireman, almost entirely full fireman gear, still going strong. That is very impressive. Shout out to that guy.
They gave us Skittles, too.
They gave this guy Skittles, too. We were meeting all sorts of characters out here, guys. There was a big cheerleading section here over on the sideline a little bit. They went to go move on to cheer on some of their family members at different turns over the course of the race. Like that energy, ma'am. And we're starting to see just fewer and fewer runners right about now, but they're still pushing through, guys, and this is very impressive that they're getting to this point in the race. And it's way past the typical 5K at this point, so they're still pushing strong. More people coming in through, but we'll probably head on to our next location to meet some more colorful characters and maybe some more birthdays. But we'll send it back to you guys.
Oh my goodness, Stan, thank you. Hey, the guy in the turnout gear for the firefighter.
That's
impressive. That is impressive.
Yeah, that is not light gear. I mean, we saw someone in jeans earlier. This doesn't even compare.
This is training on a different level for what he does.
But these are the things that you love to see, is that they come in their turnout gear. You'll see folks who are rucking with the rucksacks on. Right. You see folks in all sorts of, just different things. And that's what's so much fun about a day like today. And any running event like this is that you see so many different people representing so many different parts of our society.
And you see representing runners everywhere very well. Chase Bolton, he's coming in through Fort Sanders at this moment. well ahead for the men's half marathon.
Yeah, he just cleared that first of what are really two big hills Christy was alluding to earlier as you make that left off of Cumberland onto, I believe that's 22nd, but making his way up near Children's Hospital, as you see there. He's already cleared the first hill. He's going to start to climb now that second hill. Once he gets over that, he'll make a right, and then he'll be heading back into deep into Fort Sanders and almost back to World's Fair Park.
And you guys were talking about the hilly area in this area that's really deceiving.
It's deceiving.
It really is.
Behind where Children's Hospital is in Fort Sanders. It's very deceiving. In my mind, for whatever reason, I always think that it's way more flat than it is. And then you run it and you realize it's not flat at all. When we were laughing last night after we ran into you, and Jackson and I were talking, and he and Jason had run it a couple days ago to make sure that all the roads and everything were like they should be. And he said, it's really not that much fun.
No.
He said, I didn't want to tell your friend Bo, but it's really not that much fun.
No. When you don't realize Fort Sanders just how hilly it is. And, I have to take my hat off, at least last night with the 5K, the UT students that were lining the streets and were shouting and inspiring, and we're playing music and what have you to get you, through it. But yeah, there's a lot. Every time it seemed like you would make a turn, it's like there's another hill. And you just don't realize it. Obviously, when you're driving back there, it doesn't dawn on you. But when you are running, each time just take a look back. Chase, we can tell you right now, there's nobody near you.
No,
he's
you're
looking
doing
around,
I was thinking the same thing.
land.
Please stop looking behind yourself because there's no one there. You've run away.
This has to be a big moment for him.
At
least right now.
Anytime you're in the lead for something like this, Jason has won several marathons, several half marathons over the years. I've been fortunate to win a couple of races, and it's always this unbelievable moment when you do look over your shoulder because you're like, okay, someone's coming after me, someone's coming to get me. And I have had a race years ago that I've lost at the finish line by a lean, and that was awful, but it was also fun because you're racing it's not often that you get to race to the very end, but here you're in your head, you're thinking, I'm almost done, we're almost there, there's nobody behind me, but I'm sure that in his head he has a time goal for today, so you don't let up because you want to hit that finish line and get as close to that time goal as you possibly can.
And again, Chase is in the lead for the men's half marathon. For people at home wondering, okay, what about the marathon? Where are those runners? Let's talk about that.
They're back behind him. So
yes. I mean, there's a strategy here.
There's a strategy.
They're obviously going a lot farther.
You're going a lot further, and you're really trying to maintain that energy. You're trying to maintain those levels. You need more nutrition. You need the goos or the blocks, whatever they're going to take and eat. So your pace is a little bit slower coming into the marathon side of things, and that's on purpose, just because we talked about when you get to mile 20, that last 10K is like hitting the wall. Really, it's a head game to mile 20, and then you're racing that last 10K.
And look at the left side of your screen there. We just passed one of the hand cyclists.
Yes.
Love to see them out here on this course.
And we talk about them as well. I mean, talk about using a different set of muscles. But they're having to tackle these same hills.
Same hills with either the hand cycle, which is up top in front of you, or
upper
the push rim,
rims,
where you're using your arms. But either way, they're using their arms, and they're tackling all of these hills the same exact course, just a different way, using different muscles.
So he's got about a mile to go to the finish. So from here, now everything kind of shifts. Maybe this is where you're rewarded for your half marathon. It is basically either flat or downhill from here on out.
It is, and it's a wonderful downhill into the finish line. It really is. You can come and you can start to hear folks when you make that turn onto World's Fair Park Drive. You can start to hear the activity down at the finish line, and then he'll be able to sail right in and around that turn and cross the line.
But you can see some of you watch his face there, and I'm not sure
what's he doing?
I'm not sure what has just happened. Did we?
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure what he's doing.
Okay, we're going to find out. We've got our camera trying to catch up with him. Right. In the meantime, we're looking at Amanda Martin in the lead for the women, but someone's coming up right behind her. Who is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Can you tell what number that is?
Yeah, I can see that's 1005.
Okay.
1000. Stephen Marr from Michigan.
Not sure what happened with Chase. Is he back on track? Okay, he's back on track.
Looks like he's back on track, and he's headed in. This is where, too, the course can be tricky, for the marathoners behind where we are through 4th and Gill, but for the half marathon, coming through some of those streets on where the cones are, you place people, you make plans, but sometimes we've had people who aren't paying attention because you're in your head and you're in the zone.
In the zone.
We had a fellow, this has probably been 18 years ago, and he missed the last turn. There was a gigantic road, the big road signs with the orange writing that said turn here, and we had volunteers screaming at him, and he ran literally through the volunteers and went straight instead of turning.
Oh, my goodness.
Somebody chased him down. You missed the turn, man. And he was so caught up in focusing on his running and what he was doing that he literally said after, he was like, I didn't see any of you.
Right. I would hazard a guess that's what happened here. Just a moment. He had a moment of confusion there on his face.
And then a moment of clarity.
Yeah,
this is the way to go.
He course corrected quickly.
He did, and again, he's by himself out there, so there's no one running with him. They can't talk. They can't, kind of help one another out.
He's not from
here.
He's
not from here.
And so, but he has such a huge lead. He's still by himself. Even after that little glitch, he is still running on his own, making his way toward the park. And almost in there for a moment, he almost went left and then realized he needed to go right. But
thankful for the officer there.
Exactly.
He's on 13th right now. That's where he made the turn, 13th Street.
Well, and what you add into this too is, especially when you're up front like he is, you want to run the shortest possible route, so the tangent of the course.
So you want to
hug the insides as much as possible, which gets a little hard on these streets where there are cones and you're trying to maneuver around cones. But yeah, you want to do the shortest possible route. That's how it's measured. So Eric Weatherby, who measured it, it's those tangents. So that's what he's trying to stick to as well.
As you know, this area, he's on Highland Avenue right now, turning from 13th.
I want to say he can definitely see the buildings downtown at this point. He can see probably the tops of some of the trees at World's Fair Park. So he knows he's just about done.
All right, he's coming up on 11th Street, making the turn.
And he's going to make a tight right. He's going to curve back over toward the Art Museum.
Oh, he's so close to the finish line.
This literally is the home stretch.
This is the home stretch. So he'll make this turn here. And then it's down, as you said, it's downhill. Lots of noise. You'll be able to hear the finish line, folks. You'll be able to hear everybody down in the World's Fair Park area.
He has to know. He keeps looking. He has to know at this point this is his.
Yes.
I mean, he knows because now he's seeing who's coming in the opposite direction. He's looking back toward Fort Sanders, realizing that he's by himself.
We haven't seen Carino.
No.
In several minutes.
We haven't seen him since Cherokee Boulevard. So he is way behind where Chase is. And even though he knows he has it, the looking back is just human nature, just to make sure, just in case.
But he's also now thinking about the pace, trying to keep it up. He's thinking about his time.
Yes, because that's what it becomes now, is the time. So whatever time goal he had going into this, whether he's made it, whether he's under it, whether he's right at it, it's about the seconds it's going to take for him to get to the finish line.
Yeah, he's just passing the Art Museum there. But this is also, you talk about running, it can't be a team sport, but at this point, he's running against himself.
He's running against
himself.
Really
because he's trying to beat an old time or set his goal.
And if his seed is 110, I'm really interested to see what he's going to do, what he's doing today.
So he's coming down into World's Fair Park.
Still looking
now.
behind him. I love it.
Crossing the tracks. He's going to go underneath where the start line was just a few moments. I say a few moments, but a few hours ago. For him, it's been a blink of an eye.
And I don't know how he feels, but he really looks good.
He does.
He
He's
looks
in great
very
shape.
strong.
Here he comes.
What a great finish for him.
Still checking the time.
Still checking the time.
Chase Bolton, everyone, heading toward the finish line to be the winner of this year's half marathon for the men.
And I don't think his pace has changed one bit.
He has been very steady. There he goes. You can do the fist bump. It's okay. You're there, man.
There we go.
You've done it. There you go. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, and he looks so good. Again, I don't know how he feels, but that was great. He was very steady. He was not showing fatigue at all through his pace, through his form. What a great day for him.
Tell us a little bit too about what happens here at the end. Obviously, there's someone there from the Red Cross or from one of the groups there, the medical groups, I should say. They've got the blankets.
Yes, so the Mylar blankets are for the finish line, helps keep the warmth. There's Ryan Hall underneath the hat, that American record holder we were talking about. He's hanging out there.
Represented Team USA at the Olympics twice. There's Jason.
And Ryan's wife still competes, so we have seen her several times compete in the Olympic trials over the years. We've seen Ryan compete personally we've seen him compete in the Olympic trials. But yes, so there's Alan. He's crossed the finish line, so he actually
wasn't as far back as we thought he was.
He wasn't as far back as we thought he was. He just was out of the camera angle where we couldn't see him. But what we want to make sure is when they finish, that they get that warmth, especially where it's a little bit rainy today and the temperature's a little bit colder, especially than yesterday. They've expended a lot of energy. Use that blanket to warm back up, and then we'll get them some nutrition.
And we saw Jason come over there for a little bit and talk. He's also, I am sure, probably talking with some of these runners, trying to get an idea of the course and the conditions out there.
Yes, it's almost always one of his first questions. Hey, congratulations, way to go, thanks for being here. Also, anything we need to know moving forward with the race. And so if there was somebody that was out of place or a cone that was out of place, something else that may have happened, they can give him that feedback pretty quickly. We have eyes and ears on the course, but having that firsthand information is so much easier.
All right, here's Amanda Martin. She's going to be the winner for the women's half marathon.
Yeah, and again, kind of like what we saw with Chase. I mean, once she broke away, she has maintained the same pace. She has been in control. Really has not been challenged at all.
She's not been challenged at all. No.
And we want to know her time. Is she going to beat her 1:16:18 from 2023, which is a record?
Well, she put in for her seed time 1:18. So we'll see where she lands. But again, when we start the watch list going into this week, she was not on it initially because she had not registered. So everyone else was 124 to 128, 129. That would have been that could have been more of a race, and we may still have ladies behind her that are running together in a pack. But Amanda is in a league of her own and out in front, and a very commanding performance today. It looks like she's going to cruise into the win as well.
It's just amazing to watch when you sit here and you think about, what these, and these are the half marathoners. There are groups out there that they still have another 13.1 miles to go when they get this.
They do. And for this, there's so many races that are similar to this, but when you get to that point where you're starting to go to the full marathon, you almost always are passing by where the half marathoners are finishing.
Oh, right. Well, there's always that sign that says marathon this way.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh, they're finishing and I'm going on. And you can hear the party happening at the post race and you're just running away.
Yeah.
And I can remember when we were in Nashville a couple of times, the full marathon and the half marathon. And it was the greatest thing the year that we did the half marathon because we did the marathon there first. And the next year when we were there for the half, it was so wonderful to make that turn and go to the finish line instead of running away from the stadium there in Nashville and having so much more time to go.
Oh, goodness. And for those of you who are new to this, just a reminder, the half marathon is 13.1 miles, nothing to sneeze at.
No.
The marathon is 26.2.
But it's interesting to watch, and Christy pointed this out earlier as well with Amanda here. When she rounded that corner, she was tight against the curb, then hugging the cones here as well. She is really trying to find the shortest distance that she can to get to the finish line.
And we talk, we've talked about this before. Folks will come after the race and they'll email and say it was long or it was short or it's not. It is measured using a Jones counter. All of those measurements are written. It's very specific. It's very detailed. It goes to USATF and they approve the course measurements. And so when people come back and they're using their GPS, then usually I say you didn't run the tangent. You have gone out a little bit and away.
And this is so important because it's used as a qualifier for other big races.
Yes. So ours is a qualifier for Boston. So you have to have a specific time for your age group to get into Boston. So a lot of people use our full marathon as their qualifying time. So again, if you're trying to qualify for another race or get that specific time, you're trying to hit those tangents and run what we call the shortest possible route.
We should say Amanda now is making her way toward the Knoxville Museum of Art, and she is just about getting ready to enter World's Fair Park. She'll head downhill here, and then she'll make that left into the park. And again, it is all downhill from here. And looking behind her, Don't see anybody?
Don't see anybody. No females for sure.
Right.
Maybe
We see one runner back there. But,
one runner there, but no females. She's going to cruise right in to take the win, and another great day for Amanda.
She's held pretty steady as well.
She has held steady. And she's really in great shape. She's really smart about her running. She knows what she's doing. And again, you know, we talked early on, she knows her body, she knows what her pace needs to be, and she follows her plan when she gets out there and gets started. So she knows going in, if she's going to run a 6:10, that's what she's going to run all the way through. Or she knows that she's going to run a 6:29 going up Knowlton, and she'll make up for that back on the backside of the Greenway.
Here she goes. She's making that left. It is a little bit of a steep drop here.
It is a steep drop.
Coming into the park. But again, she's going to be at the finish line here in just a few seconds. Checking her time.
Checking her time.
We'll just let you take this in for a moment as she gets closer and closer to the finish line at World's Fair Park. All right, everyone.
There you have
Here
it.
she is, Amanda Martin, the winner of this year's women's half marathon.
And
never broke stride.
Never broke stride, and it's always great to see a local runner as well bringing home the big prize. We're thinking it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1:19. We'll get an official time for you here in just a little bit. See Jason again meeting her there at the finish. So again, Amanda Martin, congratulations to her, half marathon winner this year.
And still cool, calm, and collected all the way through to the finish.
Conferring there with Jason Altman, race director, getting her medal.
Looks like Stephen Marr just crossed for the men. So now she's giving a little bit of a, talking with Jason, talking with some of the runners. I'm sure again Jason asking her as well, as far as the course, how her run went, and again, no stranger obviously to this area.
No,
so.
she knows this course well. You can see there's Alex Morgan, so he must have finished just a little bit ahead of her.
It takes a bit to decompress from this, because I know we're anxious to talk to the winners, but it takes them a minute to kind of focus and get over the last 13.1 miles.
Yes. And everyone's a little bit different. We had a runner that came several years in a row, and her husband had run, just a really great couple. And when the first year she ran the marathon, he asked if he could be in the finish line shoot, and we were like, absolutely. He goes, well, she blacks out. He was like, she never remembers like the last 10th of the race. Like, for whatever reason, like she doesn't remember it. He was like, so I like to be there when she finishes. We're like, okay. But then it only takes her about 30 seconds to get her bearings back together. But he wasn't wrong. She would cross the finish line and look a little loopy, but then almost immediately we'd be able to talk to her. But yeah, they need a minute to get some water, just kind of decompress. That was a great word for it. Hang out for a minute, and then you see they're all going to start exchanging their stories and talking about the course.
Yeah, exactly. What worked for you, what didn't work for you.
This was amazing.
That
this
corner.
wasn't.
Yes. Okay, now we mentioned earlier that WATE is part of the course this year.
That's right. A lot of this has to do because of the Gay Street Bridge closure.
Yes,
and they had
Gay
to
Street
alter
Bridge
some things.
is closed, and so they're going to run right through our parking lot. And
there goes the Harper van.
This is the back of our parking lot. Woo, there you go. That's
there
a hill too.
It is a little bit of a drop, right?
This is Luttrell Street, running parallel to North Broadway, and we're so excited to have the runners come through.
Okay, you hear that?
And again, these are the marathoners.
These are the marathoners,
and
yes.
this is the northernmost point of the race. So now they're going to start heading back toward downtown and then obviously over into South Knoxville. So this is a live look out in front of our station here along North Broadway, where you can see the left side, I guess, of your screen would be the right to the runners. That's what's blocked off for them as they'll be coming up Broadway.
And driving in at around well, close to 6 a.m. today. I met you guys in the parking lot next door. And I did think, hats off to whoever was out here putting the cones out. We maneuvered through those.
I texted back to home base and said, the cones are out, the road closed signs are up, everything is in place like it's supposed to be. Because again, behind the scenes,
right.
You have to trust that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. So with this, it was very well marked this morning and looks great for the runners.
You saw that arm that actually belongs to Amberlynn Carroll. She's helping direct runners.
And we should note, Amber Lynn, remember last year, we followed her.
Yes.
She ran the full marathon.
She's a terrific runner.
She really is. Bumped into her yesterday as we were all picking up our packets.
Mike?
As a matter of fact, let's check in with Amber Lynn. She's just behind our station here along Luttrell as the marathoners making their way through this area. Amber Lynn.
All right, guys, this is really exciting. We saw the first runner come through, and it was kind of one of those moments like, oh my gosh, they are actually here. We're so excited. We saw another one come through, mile 15. I know they got to be feeling it, but we have not had anybody in the last few minutes, so we're really excited to see. We're really excited to see what we're going to be seeing coming through here, especially with the runners. It's so exciting. Mile 15, I know they're past the 13. That's awesome. And in their mind, they're probably thinking, okay, I've got 13 more to go, did the rest. So, yeah, we're just hanging out here in the parking lot. It's a great time. And weather conditions are feeling great. We're really excited, like I said, to see everyone coming through. Here's another runner. We can kind of see them down the stretch. So when they come in, so we know we've got a couple more coming. And these volunteers on bikes are helping everyone figure out the course. And yeah, we've got some cheers out here now. The crowd is building, and we're having a great time cheering everybody on.
All right, Amber Lynn, thank you so much. And, you know, we mentioned Amber Lynn as a runner as well. So she knows how they're feeling at mile 15, as do you.
Yeah, this is when they get close to 20, and that's when things start. This is when the aches start to happen. But what I'm really impressed about, we just saw the half marathoners finish.
Yes.
And the marathoners are already past mile 15, or at least the leaders are past.
What does that
15.
tell you?
They're moving as well. And we've got, you know, and on the men's side, some really great C times at 2:25, 2:30, several under the 2:40 time frame. And if we see that today, it'll be a great day here. Christian Brewer, who is from here, his PR is at 2:28. He's in great shape, so he should have a great day. I mean, we've got several folks on the list for this morning that could take home the win.
We're watching as this continues. Let's send things back out to Stan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's kind of been intermittent here on the Third Creek Greenway, but right now we're seeing a good amount of foot traffic right here. A lot of people cheering on, and this is a very nice part of the course, too. I'll take a step back so you guys can kind of take in what y'all are seeing here. Rain's starting to come down a little bit. Nothing too bad right about now, but it doesn't bother these guys at all. They're already this far along in the race that nothing's going to bother them at this point. We've seen all sorts of people come through here, all ages, really. We're seeing kids out here. We're seeing some people older than that out here, too. We're seeing some dogs right here, if Brian wants to. And some more cheerleaders right here, but this has been quite a scene right in here through this part of the course here as well. And this is, you know, again, nothing's bothering them at this point. And we'll keep walking along just so you guys can kind of get a glimpse of some of the runners that we're seeing along this pathway. And Brian, take a look at some of our furry friends right down here too. These guys have probably been our biggest supporters, been some of the biggest supporters right here. What are these dogs' names, by the way?
Oh, this is Dylan and Navigator.
All right, Navigator. That's a good dog's name.
It is, except in Tennessee, because he's Gator.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll keep that in mind as we're in Vol country. But overall, we're still going strong right here. More and more cheers coming in through here. We'll be bouncing around a little bit more as we go throughout the rest of this course as we're still going on. But just take a look. We'll take one more look at these runners, just how well they're doing right about now. But I'll send it back to you, Bo and Lori.
All right, thank you so much. And here we go. This is Adam Chase. He is in the lead right now. He won last year for the men.
He did
in the
win
marathon.
last year. He's from Greenville, South Carolina, and he is also moving. He is on Hall of Fame. Is his Hall of Fame starting to head towards the other side? And Alex Sandusky is number 2.
They've still got a ways to go at this point. And as we're watching, we saw the half marathoners, we've seen the marathoners coming through here, but we want to break this up. And as you mentioned, Christy, that's Alex Sandusky out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes, out of Ohio.
But as we're watching all of these elite runners too, there's also a breakdown. There are different categories. So, and I know a lot of the people that are out there, they just want to finish, right? It's something they just want to accomplish. But there are other opportunities. There's different age brackets, and you've got a wide range, as Stan was alluding to. He said he saw all ages out there running. But there are, you can finish first in your age bracket. There's seniors, the different types of divisions out there as well.
There's Masters, Grandmaster. Master starts at 40 years old, and then Grandmasters. There's the Great Grandmasters. There's also the younger divisions. As far as like a marathon, we don't see many young people in the marathon. It's just a too far distance for somebody who's under the age of about 20. You'll see some kids who are in shape that do it, but for the most part, your marathoners are going to be over the age of 20.
They're only halfway through.
See several of them, though, in the half marathon. 15, 16, 17-year-olds are doing that half marathon distance. They're training for other things, and this just makes a nice long run for them. And this point, a couple of years ago, what we saw was somewhere around mile 18 and 19 was when the second place caught up to the first place and passed him and went on to win the race. So he's out front, and then we don't see anybody back behind him, but as we saw with Alan finishing there just a few minutes ago, he wasn't that far behind Chase. So just because they're out of the camera shot doesn't mean that they're not within a position to be able to catch up to him and pass him.
Again, that can be deceiving as well.
Yes, there's a lot of race left at this point.
All right, so again, that is Alex Sandusky, number 2
from Cincinnati,
on the bib,
Ohio.
number 1 for men in the race right now.
And coming from Cincinnati, he knows a thing or two about running on hills there. Cincinnati, if you know, is a very hilly area. So again, he's probably the hills are no stranger.
Here's Gina Rouse, winning for the women in the marathon so far, and she is no stranger to this.
Yeah, and no stranger to winning either.
No. So we were saying earlier, for anybody that's just tuning in, we gave her bib number 5 strategically because we are hoping that this is her 5th win here in Knoxville. Gina has been to the Olympic trials before. She coaches locally at Christian Academy of Knoxville. She and her husband have children who run, and so pretty much if I'm out somewhere running, I would never be able to run with Gina. She's much, much faster than I am. But if we're out and about doing runs with the family or with our training groups of kids, we see Gina and her family out as well.
Her family reminds me of yours.
Her family reminds me of ours. They're great, great people. I mean, it's such a great community, and it's fun to watch all of our kids grow up together, even if they're not the same age. But we've known her since their babies were little. They've known us since our babies were little.
And we should point out she's a 4-time marathon winner, but also she has 1 half marathon.
She has 1 half marathon win here. Yes,
he's got the flag.
You hear Don Dare speaking. He's at the point where the marathon and half marathon converge. Don?
Well, that's exactly right, Lori. We're at World's Fair Park at 11th, and what you see here is Traffic Central Control. They're employing what the Army employed back in the Civil War, flags. The original Signal Corps used flags, and that's what they're doing now. On the left, you will see the half marathon runners, and on the right, the marathon runners. And with me right now is Wendy. She's one of the Traffic Control Central Coordinators. Is that the official title?
Course monitors.
Course monitors. Have they been making mistakes at all? Have you had to run after them?
Not yet, but when it gets busier and a lot of people are coming through here, it can be very confusing knowing which way to split at the half to the full. So there's several people lined up along here to make sure they get directed the right way.
Have you ever had to run after a marathoner who makes a sudden right turn?
Yes, a time or two. I'm not very fast, though, so I try to catch them here.
You get them here before they realize
they're going the wrong way.
They're going the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't see a lot of the full group of runners yet, do we?
No, not yet. The faster people are coming through now, but it'll get thicker and a lot more people, and it'll take a lot more to kind of untangle everyone here and get them in the right way.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to some of the most important people right now, and they're the cheerleaders. Come on with me, Dave. We're going to come over here. Here comes the marathon runner right here. And see these ladies over here? They are the most important people along the course because these ladies are the wives of the runners. Who is out there?
I have my husband out there, Mike Taylor.
And
My husband, Matthew Williams.
And
my husband, Josh Hayes.
And how about you?
Boyfriend, Corey Clark.
A boyfriend. Well, how are they doing? Do we know yet?
They should be here any second.
Yeah, they should be coming through any minute.
And what encouragement will you be providing them?
We're going to give them their drinks, so hands off, and encouragement.
And you were out here early too, weren't you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we had to be here like at 5 a.m., but we got here late, but yes.
What sort of training have they been going through, and have you been going through with them?
Well, I mean, they have a regimen they go through, but my husband just got done doing 100 miles. Her husband just got done doing 100 miles 2 weeks ago, so they've been kind of tapering off a little bit.
These guys are hardcore, aren't they?
They are hardcore, yes.
All right, well, we're going to let you cheer on, and thank you for talking with us very much, and best of luck to them.
Well, thank you.
So here we're at halfway. Way to go. There go the half marathoners to the left, down to World's Fair Park, feeling good. And Dave, here comes another guy. Keep going. World's Fair Park and 11th, halfway for the marathoners. And who is this?
This is my husband, Matt.
That's your husband.
He's coming right here. Here he comes.
Oh, got it. Good job.
Good exchange.
He drank it all, though.
I have to work on their relay exchange.
Where did he have this one?
Do what?
He missed it.
I know, but that's the empty one. He got the full one. He got the important one.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies. Lori and Bob, this is crazy out here. Thank you, ladies.
I love it.
That is fantastic. That was kind of a cool handoff, you know.
Oh, I'm just surprised that he was able to catch a bottle thrown to him after running 13.1 miles. Yeah, exactly. Now, his toss wasn't great. But
but that's okay.
But all matters is that he caught it. But I was pretty.
She was excited to see him, so she didn't catch that bottle.
The man's doing 100 miles. 13 is just a wee bit of that. But
I was going to say.
Do you hear that a lot? They just did 100 miles?
Yeah. Actually, so we just recently, I don't think it was last weekend, but 2 weekends ago, the Pistol Ultra, which is over in Alcoa in Blount County, took place. And they do several distances, including a marathon, a 50K, a 50-miler, a 100K, a 100-miler. So it could be that he did that one. But within our area, within the region, the ultra marathon has actually become very popular for folks to go over the marathon distance and train further out.
You hear about that. The ultras, trail racing, obviously is gaining in popularity as well. And road obviously has always been popular. This is Gina Rouse, our leader for the women's division in the marathon. She'll be here at our station here in just a few moments.
She's
she is
getting
making her
close
way
to
through
home.
4th and Gill right now. So we'll be cheering her on as she gets ready to turn into our studios here in just a little bit and comes through our parking lot.
She's looking great too.
She looks fantastic. And you know that this fellow in front of her is just thinking, pass me. Just go ahead and pass me.
But do you think maybe she might be using him for a little bit as far as a pace right now, right?
She just turned on Broadway, everyone.
Well, and depending on the wind situation, we're here in the studio, but depending on if it's windy or not outside, a lot of times you will get in behind somebody and let them take the brunt of the wind in front of you.
All right, let's
watch
watch
the weather.
Let's watch Gina as she gets ready to turn into our parking lot. She's next door.
Here comes that right about now.
We welcome her to WATE. Checking her time.
Checking her
time. The time. Again, this is the northernmost point of the marathon course. And she'll make her way back into the neighborhood in just a second. Matter of fact, our own Amber Lynn, as we saw just a few moments ago, she will be on the other end of the parking lot. Let's check in with her right now. The women's leader right now headed your way, Amber Lynn.
Beyond excited. I've been waiting for this moment. You know, you see all these runners come through. I'm like, well, where's our women? And so this is really exciting to be able to witness this right now. As you can see, coming through the WATE parking lot. Super proud of her. Definitely give her some props if you're on the other side. Let's go. Good job, guys. Man, I can't imagine the training that goes into trying to hit times like this. I mean, She is absolutely killing it. So is everyone along the lines who has passed through our parking lot. It's been so awesome to watch them come through. We've got another runner coming through right now. Mile 15. This is probably a really fun mile to be on as well. They're still in that zone. But we're having a great time out here. We're cheering them on. We're directing them to hang a right and watching how each one of them do it. So we're having a great time out here, you guys.
Good stuff.
Yes.
And again, still wet conditions out there these runners are having to deal with. But so far, the times have been great. The pace seems to be fantastic. No one seems to be letting up.
No, they're having a great day so far.
And we talked about Gina Rouse. You see her there in the lead right now for the women in the marathon and her incredible record and why she's wearing the number 5. If you're just joining us, let's go over that again.
Well, so she's won 4 times. So she won 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, and won the half in 2022. So I actually just turned in my booklet to see her paces. She's run everything from a 250, which is fantastic, to a 256 on this course. So I'm not sure where her pace is right this minute, but that seems to be her average is right in that 250 range. So we'll see how she lands today. She's sticking with this fellow right now, and that's always nice to be able to have somebody, Bo was mentioning, to work with, especially if the rains start back up or if it's a little bit windy. That gives her a little bit of coverage.
It's almost like auto racing. You talk about drafting,
yes,
right? You're kind of drafting off the runner in front of you.
Use each other.
The difference between a day like today and a day like yesterday is incredible.
Vastly different. And a day like yesterday is really not an ideal situation for these distance races. We see a lot of the dehydration. We see a lot of people who need extra help at the finish line or along the course because, we're going into April. So for everyone who lives in our area, we haven't really experienced any significant heat for any length of time. So a day like yesterday, if that had been today, we would have struggled greatly because it'd be, the first hot day is what we call it years ago, and it goes for everybody. So coming out of Kentucky or South Carolina or Ohio, different temperatures, and then you come to Knoxville, and today is a lovely day, but you never know in April in Knoxville what's going to happen. So it could be 30, and that's one thing, and we're used to 30, or it could be 80, and no one is used to that kind of heat.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about, too, we just saw these two runners that went past a water station here. Obviously, everybody's different. We've seen some just run past them. Others will stop, but also the goos and what have you. For these marathoners, and you were talking about, even on a day like today, though, they still need to maintain their hydration, keep the energy level, take care of their bodies. So, obviously, they each have a different game plan, I guess, when it comes to when they're going to take that drink, if they need to pop a quick snack or what have you.
Yes. So when we talked about the training and that long training cycle, 12 to 16 weeks, usually about 18 to 20 weeks for a full marathon, or what you're doing on those long runs is you're practicing your nutrition as well. So really starting 30 minutes into the event, you need to start some kind of nutrition. So whether that's Gatorade or whether that's a shot block or a goo or something, but starting that half an hour in, and then you figure out over your training cycle how often you're going to need that. So, for someone like myself, about every 45 minutes, I'll eat a shot block or 2 shot blocks. They're just like they're like adult gummies, but they've got a little bit of caffeine and they've got some nutrition in them. That's what they're doing. Everyone is figuring it out for themselves, what's going to work best for them. You see some of the guys up front in the half marathon, they're not going to take anything. But in the full marathon, they're going to eat 2 or 3 goos, or they're going to eat 2 or 3 packs of shot blocks.
And again, they find out what works for them during training. Because there are some things that do not sit well.
Yes, and you find out, and sometimes you train with something, and when we talk about the heat and the hot weather, you try something all the way through the training cycle, and then you get to race day, and that doesn't work. I mean, it's the most amazing thing when you get here is that you find you have days that work really well and everything clicks, and you have days where it didn't click.
Yes.
And it's been, again, I've only run 3 marathons. My very first marathon, it fell apart, and it fell apart fast. We were in Nashville. It was very, very hot. It had not been hot in our area at all through the training cycle. Very hot in Nashville, and everything that I did that day was wrong.
But you live and learn.
Literally, it was all wrong. But then you live and learn because your nerves are different on race day. You also realize that race day, your nerves are a little bit different. One of the things that we do here in town, that Knoxville Track Club is great about, is that we have a series of races that actually build to the marathon. So what we try to do is give you that race experience, or not try, we do give you that race experience to be able to try out what you've been doing and see if it works or not. So we have the Calhoun's 10 miler that gives you the first, and that fits into the training schedule. And then we do the Strawberry Plains half marathon, and then we do a longer run that's more of a race atmosphere, just to give you that chance to practice what you've tried and see if it works for you or not.
These guys are doing well, going through our parking lot at beautiful Greystone here.
You got it.
Again, Amber Lynn there to greet them as they make their way out of the back of our parking lot and make that right onto Luttrell.
It is absolutely awesome out here. We've got a few more runners coming through, and just to watch them and the power, the raw power that they have. You guys were talking about nutrition earlier, and I actually brought with me some of the chew blocks that I use when I run, and I found that there's another one. Let's go, girl, let's go. You got to cheer them on as we're out here, you guys. But as I run, I've got these little energy chew blocks, and they're just like you can bite them off. It's one of my favorite things to do when I run, and like you were talking about, being able to find like what works for you, and it's definitely better to do that before race day.
Oh, absolutely.
So a pizza
Without
probably
question.
wouldn't be the...
Pizza, or for me, oatmeal is not good. Other runners love oatmeal. I'm not a runner,
yeah.
but on the few races I've done, not a good plan.
All right, I want to check back in with the leader right now for the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. We have been following along here. We are on the South Knoxville Bridge. Alex Sandusky of Cincinnati, Ohio, making his way into South Knoxville right now. And this is one of the big changes. So we talked about, you know, the half marathon course is the same. We walked through with Jason earlier in a piece that Lori and I did. This is where things are really going to start to change because of the Gay Street Bridge closure, how they get in and out of South Knoxville.
And they're actually running at one point under the Gray Street Bridge.
Yes, so this is what we've done traditionally. You come across the bridge to go into South Knoxville. Before this year, we would come up Sevier Avenue, up Council Place, and across Gay Street Bridge, make our way through downtown, and come back to Royal Square Park. Because that's not an option this year, we're actually going to have them come back on the other side of James White Parkway. They're going to come down, and I don't know how many people know that the Greenway is actually there, but when you come down off James White Parkway, you can get onto the Greenway that runs along the river there at Ned McWhorter Park. So that's what they're going to do. You can actually see that in this shot. And in a little bit, he's going to be down on that Greenway, and that's where he'll begin to head back towards World's Fair Park. So that's the big change for this year. So it's a little bit flatter going into the finish. There's a little bit of uphill on that Second Creek Greenway going into the park, but honestly, it's going to be a great view along the river, running past Calhoun's and Volunteer Landing. So, you know, you get to see the Tennessee River. This is my favorite shot of Knoxville. It's beautiful. It's right here. This is my favorite. I love being able to see this.
It's fantastic.
And so he's going to be able to see that here, and then he'll be able to, you know, head back in knowing he's going right into downtown. So there's not the winding through Market Square and through downtown that we've had before. It's going to be a straight shot once he comes off the bridge.
So there are some high points to some of these changes.
Yes. Oh, it's the fewer turns at that point in the race, the better you are. So once he comes down off the bridge here in just a little bit, it's literally that Greenway runs all along the river back to Second Creek. He'll cross over Neyland Drive, head straight in. So really only a couple of turns by the time he gets to the end.
We're really in and out of South Knoxville. Think it back to the U.S. cycling. It's the same. Using the South Knoxville Bridge is how the cyclists were getting in and out of that area. So again, kind of reminiscent of that. But again, this is your leader right now for the Knoxville Marathon, Alex Sandusky, and we will continue to monitor his run until he gets to the finish line.
Yes, in the meantime, we were talking earlier about wanting to speak with Chase Bolton, who won the men's half marathon. Tirsa Smith caught up with him at the finish line.
I'm here now with the men's half marathon winner. Chase, you had a little time there to recover. How are you feeling after this victory?
I'm feeling great. I got 2 weeks till the Boston Marathon, and this was my last hard workout. I was planning to run it, hopefully close to around marathon pace for Boston in 2 weeks. So,
most people just hope to finish a half marathon, but to come in number one, what does that training look like for you? You must go so hard.
A lot of miles. Easy days easy, and when I hit my workouts, I push the pace. A lot of threshold in this build, and I felt good. The hills felt great, so I'm hoping Boston goes well.
You know, I was listening to our coverage in the studio. Bo and Lori, they were talking about you looking back, just kind of over your shoulder. What is it like when you look back and you realize, okay, I think I got this? And at one point, did you go the wrong way?
I did. So they told me I had about half mile left, and the guys pointed the opposite way. So I went that way, and then everyone's yelling, turn around, turn around, turn around. So I already turned around, and for a little bit there, it got my heart rate up, and I was like, oh no, like I hope that doesn't cost me the win or anything, but
it didn't.
It didn't, but it was a great, fun race, and I enjoyed it.
All right, well, good luck in Boston. We hope that you come out victorious there as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chase.
Fantastic. Great run, even with that little bit of a glitch. Just a great run that he put on today.
We got an explanation
Yes,
for
we
what
did.
happened.
And that's great. We're so proud of him.
Yes, he did great, and we'll be following him as he continues.
Well, now we'll know to look out for him. And so when we're tracking all of our friends in Boston, we're going to pull up Chase's name just to see how he did.
That'll be a lot of fun. Now let's head out to Tyson Park and Stan Smith once again. Hey, Stan.
What's up, guys? Over at Tyson Park, like you mentioned, I'm starting to see a lot. Oh, there's our banana friends again. Here we go. Hey, banana one. Or if they're still peeling it, guys. All right. So, all right, they probably think we're following them at this point. But, one of the many joys of seeing this marathon, too, is also seeing all the very creative signs that are out here on the course. We're going to point right across this path. This lady's holding up a sign that says, "We trained for months to hold this sign." That would be me. That would be me if I was in this marathon. I'd be happy to cheer on anybody, any of my friends, family running this race. Lady next to her says, "Do it for the Tito's." So I guess, maybe hit up some margaritas later. Maybe that's what she's implying there. But overall, this has just been a really fun pathway right in here. Just and there's also the much cuter signs too. Hope you're having fun. Love you. Have a good time from these two right here. That's what we like to see. A good family atmosphere from everybody out here running this marathon. And the rain's coming down maybe just a little bit, but again, not bothering any of these people. You made it this far. You're going to keep on going. We'll show you another contingent of runners coming in through here. Hey, y'all are on TV. All right. Anytime you point a camera and a microphone at someone and say you're on TV, that's always just a surefire way of saying, hey, just give a little cheer or something. But this has been so much fun, and we're going to continue to keep moving around. But Bo and Lori, I'll send it back to you guys.
Makes you run a little bit harder when you know that you're on live television, too.
It really
that's for
does.
sure. See some more of our finishers here for the half marathon coming into World's Fair Park, and they've got to just be feeling great. There is it's hard to describe. I mean, you go through the training and you're running and you're dealing with the hills, and you even made a joke earlier, like thinking, why am I out here? What am I doing? But when you get to the finish line, the excitement and the relief, and you just feel good about what you've accomplished.
Yeah, it's the greatest day of your life once you get to this point.
That is for sure. Once you get to that point, that is for sure.
That is so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. It's generally how it goes.
Hey, it was so much fun to watch Amanda Martin, the winner of the women's half marathon. Tirsa is speaking with her now. Let's listen.
Okay, we're here with the women's half marathon winner. Amanda, how do you feel?
That was really hard today, for sure. With the hills, it was a little bit challenging compared to previous times on this course.
Were you a little concerned about the weather? Because so far it's held out.
A little bit, yeah. I had my hat on for a while, but it got hot, and I was like, well, if I take this off, I hope it doesn't downpour, and it didn't, so it held out, which the rain is okay because it helps cool you down, but there's a little bit higher humidity levels today.
What does it feel like to win this race right here in Knoxville?
This is the third time, and I feel like this one's really special. Last year, I had a really tough year losing my dad to cancer, and so I just wanted to run it for him. He's not at the finish line this year, and every time it got tough, I just wanted to do it for him and for the Lord. He's given me strength to overcome this past year, so I'm really thankful for this sport and this community and what Knoxville means. It's special. You get to have the neighborhoods and your people cheering for you, so I felt like everybody was out there just building me up, and when it got tough, I just said, okay, what's your reason why today? And it was for my dad and for my faith and for the high school athletes that I'm coaching this season with my friend Gina, who's running the marathon. So it means a lot this year, more than ever. Yeah.
I know he's there with you, especially in your heart. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and congratulations. You're an amazing young lady.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. That's the half marathon winner.
Oh, Tirsa, thank you. I think we all have lumps in our throats right now, and we knew that she wasn't in the race last year. We knew she won the one the year before, and that kind of explains everything.
Yes.
Carrying her dad with her every step of the way.
And we said early on, everybody has a reason.
Yes, everybody has a story why they're doing this. Stay with us. We have so much more of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon to bring you. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Good look at downtown Knoxville. Rain continues to come down. It's light, and that's okay, as we're hearing from the runners that have already finished the half marathon, saying it actually kind of helped them today, especially when you thought about the heat yesterday.
Yes. Right. Now, one did say, Amanda Martin, the humidity. She felt the humidity a little bit today, but other than that,
it's
not
a great
so
day.
bad.
And again, we weren't sure 2 days ago if it was how this was going to work out today. So we're very pleased with the way the weather has turned out. It's the temperature is not too hot. The rain is drizzling, so it's keeping them at a good temperature, their body temperature. And so far, so good.
Jason Altman and the runners have to be pretty pleased right now.
They have to be pretty pleased right now, yes. And it really is a great day. The weather will make all the difference in your performance. And so a day like today is really a blessing.
Yeah, it definitely is. As a matter of fact, we have our own blessing, Don Dare. He has been out all over the course, bringing us the sights and sounds of how things are shaping up out there. So, Don, tell us where you are right now and how are conditions that you're experiencing right now as well.
Well, Bo, where you're looking at the runners here on North Central, yet another little bitty hill, but no hill is little on a race like this. These are the marathon runners as we come up to Central, North Central, and Fifth Avenue. And over here we have the former Powell High School running coach, Steve Cottrell. And who do you have in the race, Steve?
Our oldest son, Eamon, is pacing like 8-minute miles and hopes to break 4 minutes or 4 hours for the marathon.
Now, has Steve run some marathons himself?
He has run one, yeah.
And how's he done?
Long time ago.
Long time ago. How's he done?
He did great.
He did great. How great did you do?
I finished. Rocket City Marathon in Huntsville, Alabama.
The Rocket City Marathon. Now, you finished one. How about the other one?
I did not finish. That was Smoky Mountain Marathon in Oak Ridge. I was
in the snow.
In the snow.
I don't blame you.
It was not pleasant.
Well, here we have a little bit of rain, and Caitlin over here is pulling for whom? Who are you pulling for?
My friend Christian from the gym. It's his first marathon ever.
Uh-oh. How was he doing? Do you know?
He's killing it.
He's
still running. So he's still running.
He's still running. That's why he's killing it. And if you look at these runners down here, it looks like the race is killing them, for some of them anyway. Here comes this group, a small group in a pack up North Central, as they make their way through the other half of this race. I believe this is around mile marker 14. It's a little slow coming up the hill, but then when they get on Broadway, and here they go.
Let's go, guys. You got this.
Doing good.
Bo and Lori, looks like the rain is not slowing down anyone. Back to you.
No, not at all. Looks like everyone's still having a good time. And you say maybe they're moving a little slow. They're moving faster than we are. That is for sure. So congratulations to everybody that's out that is finishing the half and those that are still competing in the full marathon.
Yes, and we want to check in with the one who's just out in front of them all, and that is number 2, Alec Sandusky out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The overall leader for the marathon right now. We're at mile 21.
Yeah, so he is closing in right now. So, he's got about just a hair over 5 miles to go. What's going through your mind at this point, Kristen, when you know, as he's getting ready to come out of Island Home here in a moment, you're almost there. So don't lose your composure, I guess, at this point. Don't still get too excited.
Composure is a really good word for it. So you're getting excited. You're not far off. You've come this far. So unless something just ridiculous happens, you're going to finish. So that's the thing. But again, it's keeping that momentum, because these are the miles that are so hard. And him being by himself makes it a little bit harder at this point. It's nice to have some company. If you're trying to win, at some point you want to be by yourself, because it secures your win.
Right.
But you get these last few miles and you're by yourself, and it can get a little bit lonely. So it's nice to go through the neighborhood. The folks are out, they can cheer them on. But at this point, you're starting to wear down a little bit and thinking about every step. The whole right foot, left foot, breathe from Pat Summit. That's what they're doing at this point.
And for these runners going through Island Home, if you've ever been through there, they have those little, and they're not steep speed bumps.
No, but
those are something too that the runner has to think about, because you feel it when you're running, especially at this point.
You feel every change of terrain at this point in a marathon. And so every little bit, and again, we talked about the yellow flag, taking caution over the speed bumps. Whenever you have paint on the road, it's going to be a little bit slicker,
Yeah.
And let's mention the courts marshals and how important they are for noticing little areas, not just speed bumps, obviously, but things that pop up. A friend of mine, Michelle Kinnick, was a course marshal and actually saw a manhole cover that was popped up.
Yes.
Which could have been disastrous.
Yes. And so they see these things and you get them fixed. You know, even like going into the week, you have folks, they're still filling in potholes and spots on like Clinch Avenue where we started, you know, and finished for the races last night and then this morning. Just making sure that all of that's taken care of down to days like this morning. Just last minute changes, anything that needs to be done to ensure a good experience and to make sure that they're safe out there is what's important.
So he's working on nutrition and all the things that we've been talking about. Our own runner, Amberlynn Carroll, was talking about what she does to maintain her energy. Amberlynn, fill us in.
Mine changes a little bit every day. I usually start with a smoothie in the mornings, but on race day, it's always going to be oatmeal before race. But I had the opportunity actually to check on with some runners here locally who were training, and I was really interested to see what fueled them to run. One guy even said, I don't even eat before I run. I fast before I run. And I've actually, fun fact, seen a ton of them come through here already. So let's take a look to listen to how some runners fuel. In the early morning hours, a group of elite runners meet at Knoxville Endurance several days a week.
They like to run together, the camaraderie. The training method obviously is part of the process.
And I'm here to learn what's fueling those runs.
It's like their gasoline, basically, you could say.
Specifically, I want to learn what runners eat.
The running joke with my friends is that I eat 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners because I'm constantly eating throughout the day.
And yes, there are some common themes.
First thing in the morning, usually get some carbs in me, maybe a banana, some oatmeal.
Always eat some oatmeal, grab a bagel, have some peanut butter.
But some racers opt in for a different approach.
I don't eat in the mornings before I run. Today I did, just had a longer workout, so I had half a banana while I was driving here. Most mornings, if I do a long run, I'll have maybe half a banana as well, and I'll take a couple gels with me.
On race day, fueling with things like sports gels, small packets of concentrated carbohydrates designed for endurance activities like running, are essential for sustaining energy and hydration during mileage.
So it's a lot of fueling and practicing what fueling is, because I wouldn't say goos and stuff are the most tasteful things to eat during a marathon, but you practice it during training runs and stuff. And for me, I do my nutrition every 4 miles, and it's kind of like a marker.
But all in all, nutrition is as diverse as the runner when it comes to fueling each athlete's unique journey.
If your body's full tank gasoline of hydration and the fuel, the proteins, the carbs and all that, the next day is going to be the indication of what you're going to end up running based on what you pretty much put in your system the day before.
Yeah, and you guys asked me what I eat, so every night before a race, what I do, I've got to have pizza. That's my go-to. Got to have pizza. It sits well with my digestive system. It's great.
A high five.
I just high-fived everybody in the studio over the pizza, Amberlynn. Well done, my friend. Well done. Good to see the runners still coming through our parking lot, and you can see them coming down Broadway as they're making the turn here into our WATE studios.
Oh, welcome.
Picking up more and more runners we're seeing now.
And we were talking earlier this morning, and I said we were up about 120. It's really about 140. So there's 920 marathoners this year, over 780 last year. So this is a significant jump, which is so much fun to see because people are getting back into distance and challenging themselves. And, we're up about 400 runners in the half marathon. So all in all this morning, between the relay, the half, and the full, is about 4,000 runners.
Look at the smile on Alex Sandusky.
I know. He's so happy. Yeah. Look at how happy he is. My goodness. I don't think I've ever looked like that coming out at mile 21 or so.
I think he's talking to somebody just a moment ago coming through. So
he's about at mile 23. Oh, yeah, the sign, I don't know if you can see it, it says the end is near on the other side.
Not quite.
Now,
that's right. It's got a little ways to go. But
easy for us to say, oh, what's 3 miles?
Right. That's the thing you ask, like, what goes through your mind is when you get to like mile 22 and somebody's got a sign that you're almost done. Like, I'm actually not.
Yes, but thank you. Let's talk about elite runners like him. What is the percentage of those on average?
Oh, it's
at a
very
marathon
small,
like this?
Very, very small. So that's, when you think about, when you get to like a Boston, you've got the obviously a lot more because it's an elite race. The World Majors are elite races. Folks go there to try and earn money. Folks like Ryan Hall or his wife. In these races, what we've seen today so far is one person. So you've got one out front, and there's a handful behind them. But again, when you look at times, like Gina put in a 2:45 for her seed time, so obviously she's in great shape. She's feeling good. And what we're looking at is, her just doing really well today, coming across the bridge. So she's in. So there's our first relay person.
Yeah, because we mentioned earlier, and we haven't seen one in a while here, but the green bibs, those are the relay crews.
So she may be, I'm not sure if this is coming off an exchange or maybe she's just running with Gina and she's already run before.
Right.
But yeah, so she's got a green bib. That's a relay bib.
Well, they are talking, so maybe that may be what she's doing, helping to pace her a little bit.
Helping pace her, making sure she feels good, making sure, I saw her pull out a packet, do you need this? Do you need that? A lot of times, especially working together, I've seen people do it in a full marathon where you work together. You listen to like Des Linden in her book talks about, handing each other water bottles, like if they missed a water bottle, helping each other out throughout a race. So in this instance, I don't know where the relay team is, if she's really running, if she's still racing, or if she's finished with her part of the run and just hanging out, or if she's going to run with Gina all the way in.
We saw them talking with the course marshal.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
What might that conversation be?
Just asking where other teams are, what the course looks like, what they've seen. What's great about the cyclists is that they can get around pretty quickly and they talk to each other as well. So it may just be, what can I expect going across the bridge, or is there anything to look for, or where? A lot of times you're just asking where the other runners are. So can you see behind me, or can you see who's, is there anybody in front of me that's leading that's not, I think I'm leading, but are you sure?
Speaking of which, there is another runner back there. We don't know who that is yet, but we do see another runner just not too far back here as we're coming off of the bridge here. All right, so as you're taking a look again, as we mentioned, the green bibs, these are the relay teams. Our own Dominic Webster had a chance to catch up with one team and kind of has their story now about their quest to really do something that, they want to set a record. Let's put it that way.
Since 2007, a course record of 2 hours and 55 minutes has stood at the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon. Lauren Roth, Katie Baxa, Eliza Dickinson, and Liz Welpley are hoping to break that record during this year's race.
I think the first goal is to have fun. Yeah, we will. And to wear bound. Yes. We're all wearing bound. We're representing Team Bound, so cheering on our friend here. Yeah. And then if you can, run home. If we can piece it together, it would be nice.
We've been texting each other over the last month or so, like, okay, are you getting your workouts in? Are we ready? Because we know what pace we need to hit to get the course record, but it's going to be hard.
The team will be wearing matching running sets made by Katie Bax's company, Bound, something the group is excited to help be a part of.
That's like one of my favorite things about my running friends and the running community as a whole is it's just a very positive, supportive group of people. And so it kind of makes you believe in yourself and makes you go after crazy goals or try crazy things and start stuff like a running apparel company, which is so amazing. And just being able to support her like that in this way is exciting and fun.
The group has previously run 100-mile races in relay form, most recently in the Florida Keys. They say this marathon course will be a lot easier for them.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was also in Key West.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
And it's just one leg versus like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And come race day, you'll be able to tell them apart from the rest of the runners. The group likes to go matching colors and outfits.
We like to match too, so that's kind of fun.
Yes. And we're going to get our nails done.
Our nails done.
That'll be good.
Yeah. All the same color. We'll wear all the same colors.
Yeah. We like to say look fast, feel fast, be fast. So our nails and our outfit will help.
In Knoxville, Dominic Webster, 6 on your side.
Thank you, Dominic. And we've been watching Katie Baxa, who just stopped. Yep. She handed off just a couple of seconds ago.
And again, you're taking a look at Gina Rouse as she continues to lead overall in the women's marathon. That's got to be something, too, is if you're running the full marathon, and then you see the person next to you stop and hand off to somebody else who has fresh legs, and you're thinking, man,
Or when they, and we talking about this group of girls, they're trying to beat course record, so they've got goals today. They thought they would enter intersect with Gina at some point,
Right.
so I'm glad to see that they did. And then they're going to run on, and Gina still has a ways to go. But, you know, you prepare yourself for that mentally too. As you go into it, you know that there's going to be some relay runners that they're probably going to pass you, or they're going to be around you. They're going to be fresher than you feel. But sometimes that's an energy boost, you know. So when you could see, so that probably was a great energy boost for her to see Katie. They're friends. They run together. You know, hey, this is amazing. Gives Gina a little boost going into these last few miles.
And you know, Gina knows this course, but I was thinking earlier about the people who come in from out of town. They train, but they don't come here. I mean, that doesn't really make sense.
No.
So let's talk about those differences.
Well, you know, so you do the best you can. You read, you know, I think we do a really good job of having the course description and elevation charts and things, the maps that are online so people can see and kind of get an idea of. One of the things that we've always tried to do is if we have driven someplace for a race is to drive the course beforehand. Our bananas are heading into finish. But to drive the
There they
course
go.
and just kind of get an idea of what the terrain is like and things. And sometimes people just like to be surprised, or they know, you know where you're going. So if you're going to run the Seaside Half Marathon, you know it's flat all the way out and back.
Right.
If you're going into Boone, North Carolina, you know that's going to be lots of hills and up mountains and down mountains.
You're getting ready to go
So-
bananas.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're going to go
exactly.
bananas.
And we're going to see a lot of
Literally.
people go bananas here in a moment.
We are.
You know,
We are.
just
Here
to
they
refresh,
come.
remember there were 5 of them. They said they want to have 1,000 here at some point, so they've got some work to do. But Banana 1, Banana 2, 3, 4, and
Hey, they
5
want us
about
to-
ready
they want us
to
to
cross the
interview these
finish
guys.
line here at World's Fair Park as we see more of this year's half marathoners coming in.
Okay, I hear you. I'm ready.
And kudos to everybody taking part today in this race. We're seeing, as we mentioned, all ages, all fitness levels. Where are the bananas?
I think they just crossed.
Did they just cross? Let's check in with
There.
Tirsa Smith.
Ready when you
She's
are.
with the bananas.
There they
Team
are.
Banana. Take it away, Tirsa.
All right, hey everybody. So I've got the people everybody are talking about right now, the Banana Crew.
Yeah.
Okay, how does it feel? You all started this thing together. You finished together.
Yeah, we stay as a bundle. When have you seen a banana alone on a shelf? You know? Bundle mentality.
I love this for you. How are you feeling? Half marathons are so much fun. You get to just kind of keep your energy going, and you know you are done halfway through.
Oh my Lord. You know, it's been a tough one. We're going to be banana bread after this. But it's been fun. Community.
Do you all practice this?
No, but we do have a group chat.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
You all are so much fun. Hopefully we see you again next year.
We love Covenant Health.
Every year. Every year. Go get right. But I'm pumped. Back to you all.
And no bruises. No, they're not bruised
They're not
or
bruised.
anything.
They
Yeah.
look fantastic.
Tirsa, I got that. That was good. Go get ripe.
Go get right. I love it. That's like how you said we're going to become banana bread now. You know.
Yeah.
So, but it is a great feeling, and kudos to them. They just ran 13.1 miles. You wouldn't know it talking to them.
No.
They had a great time.
With the extra gear and all that. All right, let's go back to Dawn Dare. Dawn, where are you right now? Uh-oh, okay, Don's mic is not working.
Yeah, we will check back in with Don here, but
Yes.
he's at one of the many water stations around the area, and that's not easy to do. Don had a great interview with a young lady earlier saying she'd been doing this. He said, how long have you been doing this? Well, since this morning.
Since this morning.
But there was a lot of pressure because when you're handing it off and these people are coming in, especially some of the more inexperienced runners, they're going to be a little lightheaded. They're going to be getting tired. You want to make sure they get that water
And
in
you're
their
close
hands.
enough, but not too close.
Exactly. So there's a little bit of pressure on
There's pressure, and I have seen also years ago, we were doing July 3rd race, and the runners want you to throw the water on them. They don't want to drink it. They
Oh,
just
yeah.
want you to
Just
toss it.
toss it,
So
sure.
that becomes also extra pressure of like
Make sure
making
you
sure
get
you
'em.
hit them with the water.
In
So-
the right way.
It's like a
And
misting station.
Yes.
I did look it up because earlier I said, how many cups? I found it. There are 50,000 cups
Oh, my
of water
goodness.
out there.
They were probably all in your garage.
They were
Yes.
all in a pallet at the end of the driveway. Yes, they were.
Well, we're take a look at the leaders. Once again, we're keeping a close watch on your marathon leaders as they are making their way back toward downtown.
Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. You see our marathon leaders right there. On your left, Alex Sandusky, who just ran along Volunteer Landing, and Gina and Calhoun's. You see it there. And then Gina Rouse at Island Home.
Yeah, for Alec, just a hair over a mile to go before he hits the finish line, so we're going to keep a close watch on him. Our Stan Smith, he is out along the course as well, along the Greenway, keeping us up to date on how conditions are and the runners and those that are out there to cheer him on. Stan?
Hey guys, so we're right here near McWhorter Park. Not a whole lot of people out here right about now, but we do have one family right here that are cheering on their dad. Look how cute these signs are right here, cheering on their dad. This is awesome. Handmade signs, and we're speaking with their grandmother right here. And this is your son that's going to be running in this race?
It's my son, David Kelly. This, I think, is his first marathon.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much has he been training for this?
A good bit.
Okay.
A good bit. He's been running every day and, you know, doing all the smoothies and everything. But he's been training a good bit looking for this, looking forward to this.
And how has Grandma Duty been today being with these two little ones? Have they been cheering loud?
Oh, yeah. We made the signs last night. And, yeah, they're real excited to tell Dad what a great job he's doing. And, yeah. It's been fun. I took 2 of them last night. There's 4 kids all together, and I took 2 of them last night to spend the night so we could get here. And like I said earlier, I've got 2. The other grandparents, I think they've got 1, and then their mom's got 1, and we're at different stations.
Yep.
So.
Wow, yeah. All across the course. So have you guys gotten to see him yet run by?
No.
Okay.
No, he hasn't run by yet. Hopefully he'll be here before too long, but about 15 minutes ago, he was at mile marker 15, so we're hoping he'll be here soon.
All right, and if we can turn around, we have one runner coming through here. Not a whole lot of runners going in and around right about now. The leaders have kind of gone past us just a couple minutes ago, but these are the ones that are at the very front of the pack right now, throwing back some waters because, you know, this is a prime location just to keep pushing along, keep trucking along. And we just want to show these signs just one more time, just like how well done these are from these 2 little ones. Go, Dad. We love you. This is going to be so cool for them and extra special for the dad to see them when he comes around McWhorter Park. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Bo and Lori.
You know what's so cute? Well, obviously, beyond the signs.
Right.
They're little serious faces. Right. This is serious
this is
business.
This is very
sign holding. Yes, that's important
situation happening here.
All right, here's our leader bypassing the water station. He's feeling good right now. You can see some of the water being kicked up behind our crews there with the cameras, so it tells you how wet it is, and you can see for yourself. And again, that's why the yellow flag is out, just to kind of remind these runners that it could be a little slick in spots. But again, this is your leader, Alex Sandusky from Cincinnati, Ohio, coming up toward UT, the parking lot there, coming up back onto campus, coming off of the river. So he's not that far away.
No,
but he's on another incline.
Just on the back side of World's Fair Park. So this is Second Creek Greenway. And it's great to be able to see this again because this is a significant change for the course is that we're coming in on this side now for the marathon instead of where the half marathoners are coming in. So he'll actually run into, as he comes around the corner, into some of the half marathoners who are still finishing. He'll just be coming in from a different direction. So the whole dynamic is fun for us to watch from this vantage point just because we didn't, you don't know how it's going to work until you get there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because he'll come in right underneath the sun sphere.
Yes, and look at all these views. I just want to thank our crews who are all over this, covering every step of the way. Our goal as a group here at WATE was to make you at home, watching online or on the air, feel like you're there.
Right. And again, we've got you covered. I mean, and here, give you an idea. So we're lower right, that's here at our station. This is near mile marker 15. Alex Sandusky is about to finish.
He is
one of the
about
elite
to
runners.
finish.
I mean, that is how far ahead he is.
Less than a half a mile from the finish line.
You can hear his footsteps.
You can hear yes. But he still looks, again, we talked about this with Chase. His form has never changed. His pace has been consistent all the way through. He just looks really good and in shape and just relaxed and like, I don't know him, so I've never seen him race before, but what a great day for Alec as well.
Yeah, and now he's coming in here. He's coming up on the Sun Sphere. The convention center is just off to his right, your left on the screen.
And the universal runner in him is looking at his watch to see what he's going to finish in.
Seeing some of the half marathon finishers as they're kind of cooling down. He can sense it. He can probably see underneath the trussell there the finish line.
Yes, the end is almost in sight.
Yeah,
He's
there
under the
he
sun
goes.
sphere right
So
now.
he's going to come out and then right in. There he goes into the finish.
There he goes. High five.
I love it. The energy to high five there at the finish line. What
Under
a
the
great
iconic
day.
sun sphere on a rainy day.
So let's see if we can pick him up as he's coming. He'll have the black bib on. There he is. Congratulations. Going out to Alex Sandusky, your 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon winner. Didn't even want the blanket.
No.
Shook it off. He said,
that
I'll take the medal.
Wants that medal. Now we're going to talk to him. Somebody wants to talk to him.
Hey,
What
look,
a
he's
great
just,
day.
you know,
Doesn't need the, yeah.
I would need to be carted
Look,
off.
he's
Yeah,
right
There's
to Tirsa.
All right, Tirsa, take it away.
He needs no recovery or downtime. Alec, thank you so much for coming over. Let's talk. How do you feel? You killed this thing.
Yeah, I felt good. You know, I ran 2:14 in CIM in December, so I wanted to get a nice hard effort in and see Knoxville. I've been here once, but it was nice to see it, you know, for all its glory. So it was fun. It was fun. I can't say anything else. It was a nice hilly course, but we'll take it.
What was your mindset coming in that last mile?
Yeah, just stay smooth. Don't overdo it. We don't want any injuries. My body's tight, you know, so just smooth, stay strong, get to the finish.
Okay, so what's next for you? I'm sure this is not your last race.
Yeah. So my big ones are I'm gonna do Pittsburgh, the half, and then Grandma's half, and then I'll probably do CIM again this year. So hoping to be like under 63 for the half and sub 213 for the full.
Okay, and last, what are your words of encouragement for those that are looking to do this type of thing, to have these type of accomplishments?
Yeah, you got to stack bricks. There's no magic secret. You got to continue to work hard, and there's no secret. You just got to go out there every day. So.
Okay, thank you so much, Alec. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Boy, I tell you, what a mindset. He needed no recovery, no downtime. He was like, yeah, I can talk to you. I don't need one of these Mylar blankets. We're good. So let me send things back into you all. We are now waiting on the women's winner.
All right, thank you, Tirsa. I love what he said. You just have to stack bricks. And I saw you nodding, Christy.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
What a great, great mindset, great race. Obviously a fit athlete. Just wanted to see Knoxville. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
He saw a lot of it.
He saw all the best parts.
But we'll take it.
Definitely. And of course, coming from Cincinnati, it is known its sister city is Rome because both are built on 8 hills. So Cincinnati, they've got their fair share of up and downs. Gina Rouse, there is your women's leader right now. It'll be interesting. It'll be a good clean sweep for Knoxville if she's able to hang on here. We had a Knoxvillian win the half marathon, and we could have another Knoxvillian here win the full marathon for the women. I believe she's past mile marker 22, so she still has a little ways to go.
This is the exit of Island Home, so she's going to hit that stretch there on Sevier, Island Home Boulevard, and then the last significant climb will be back up and over James White Parkway down to the Greenway. And again, Jean's form looks great.
She's
talking.
She just asked, is there anybody back there?
Yeah.
And so, instead of turning around at that point, she's just asking other people to kind of be their eyes and ears. And they said no. So.
To be able to talk?
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I know.
I'm not going to lie. Last night, finishing the 5K, and I saw our camera, and I looked, and I think I said something inaudible. I wanted to say, hey, Thomas, and I don't think it came out that way. So I'm impressed with what they're able to do. Don Dare, though, I know he can still talk. Let's check in with him. He's at one of the mini water stations. Don.
Well, Bo, we're at mile marker 19. We're on East Hill Avenue, just up from the Knoxville Coliseum. You know the movie Waterboy? Well, behind me are Water Girls, and they are the professional water hander-outers. Again, we meet another group, and Molly O'Brien did a special story on these Water Girls because they are part of Girls on the Run. Let's listen to Molly's story.
Girls on the Run is a national nonprofit organization for girls in 3rd through 8th grade.
Girls on the Run is a program for girls for self-empowerment, and it really helps them grow and become women. And it's also a physical activity that gets them moving and it helps their mind, body, and spirit.
Meet coaches Emily Kudovis and Jamie Antonias, Girls on the Run coaches here at Maynard Elementary School. The program spans over 10 weeks. Each training session, you learn a life lesson and skill, and then incorporate it into an exercise, leading up to the big event, a 5K race.
We always start with some sort of lesson, some sort of skill they're working on. So star power was what we were working on the other day, saying good, positive things about yourself. And then they play a game that involves that idea.
On race day, each participant has a running buddy, which is how Coach Antonias first became involved in the program.
Just tried it, and Emily and I are friends, so I was like, why not? And then I was like, oh, I want to get more involved and volunteer and stuff. And then I see they're having a fabulous time, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun.
Girls on the Run teaching girls to be active while having confidence, not only in this 5K race, but in the race of life.
I think overcoming fear, because again, like at this age, you see that they're still scared, and it's like you see them blooming and having that confidence, hopefully to take them as they get older.
In Knoxville, Molly O'Brien, 6 on your side.
Well, here we are with the professional Girls on the Run, and Amelia Everett is the executive director. What sort of special training have these girls gone through behind me here now?
It's been very strenuous. They've been hard at work at this water station.
And this is hour number 2.5, so I guess they're really good now.
They've gotten very good, yes.
What happens if they drop the water?
They're not coming up.
Well,
Jason
we've
said
heard no one's thrown anything at us yet, so we're so far so good.
So far so good. Mile marker 19, and Dave, if you just swing around, we'll see a few of those runners coming down East Hill Avenue, a little bit downhill, and they still have, 7 more miles to go. Back to you, Bo and Lori.
And for some, that will be a long 7 miles.
For others, we're almost done.
That's right.
Almost done.
But a great look here. Again, Gina Rouse, the women's leader now in the marathon, coming out of Island Home, making her way back along the river, and now starting that run back toward downtown. She'll eventually hook up with the Greenway, and when she crosses back into Knoxville, coming across the South Knoxville Bridge.
Gina is a longtime runner. We've talked about her, has won several races here. And I looked her up because I always like to see what these athletes say about their their involvement, their motivation. And she said it's 2 things, 2 P's, priorities and patience. And it goes back to, what Alex said, the winner for the marathon. And he said, you're stacking bricks. You're just going, and he didn't want to overdo it today. I thought, really?
He was moving at a pretty good clip.
He was at a great pace today.
You see a lot of the other runners, still a lot of people out on the course. This is right behind us on Luttrell here, right behind the WATE studios in North Knoxville. Hats off to all of these runners. They still have a ways to go. They still need to cross over into South Knoxville. But again, they are out there braving the conditions as well, still wet. But again, everyone seems to be doing well. And I think, as we mentioned many times here, the drop in temperature, the rain has definitely helped a lot of these, especially these first timers. If it had been yesterday, it could have been a totally different story. And yes, the gate is open. We were joking with Jason coming into our studios here. We'll say, well, we'll think about opening the gate for you, but the gate is open there at WATE.
Can you imagine?
And it hasn't closed
and
yet.
It hasn't closed.
No.
That was the concern this morning.
Everyone, welcome here. We're so glad the runners are coming through, and Amber Lynn is out there greeting the runners, keeping us up to date with how they're doing. You have a big group behind you right now.
I am so excited. This has been so much fun cheering these guys on and seeing the big crowds coming through. I can't imagine the hard work that has gone into every step that these runners have taken. It is so much fun to see them come and run through. And yeah, a lot of them have the words are like, man, it's 15 and I'm ready to get done. So, but they've done this before. That's the thing to remember. You've done this before and you've been here before, and this is the moment. You've got one shot to do it. And just remembering that and taking that with you every step of the way is kind of what gets you through. For me personally, I think when I hit about mile 20 is when I hit that wall where I'm like, okay, it's go time. I know I've got this amount of time left, but I can do it. I've been here before, and that's what we've been reminding these guys. I've been playing some tunes on my phone, trying to motivate some guys. You guys got this. But it's a lot of fun. We're having fun out here, you guys. Hope you're having fun in the studio.
Oh, we are. Definitely, Amberlynn. Thank you. And that's what we hear a lot about mile marker 20. And you heard Amberlynn allude there that one of the runners said 15. they still have 11 miles to go. But this is when you start feeling the aches, especially if you're not an elite runner, even though I'm sure they feel it as well. But this is when it becomes a mental game.
Right, and it looks like the rain is coming down a little bit more right now, which is expected. That's what our storm team was saying. Pretty light all morning, and then toward the end of the race, coming down a little bit heavier.
And we talked about the roller coaster up and down, the mental part of things. And I have always thought, when you get into the point of, I've done this many miles before, I've done this many miles before. So when there's 11 miles left. Okay, well, that was just a regular Saturday, whenever. And then you get to 9 miles, you're like, okay, I'm in single digits. And then, you get down to like 6 miles, you're like, okay, 6 miles, like, that's no big deal. And it's a count up and then almost a count down, or at least that's how it's always been for me in any kind of distance run, is that I get to a point and I'm like, okay, now I'm past that halfway point and now I'm going down the numbers
you think
on
back
the other
to your
side.
Training, you're thinking, okay, I'm at a certain point. Well, that's just 2 laps around my neighborhood.
Yes.
Or something like that.
That's back and forth. Cherokee Boulevard is 5 miles if you go down, one end to the other. Down and back is what I call it, but it's 5 miles. So 5 miles is only Cherokee Boulevard, or this many miles is from this point to this point. And so it becomes that thought process of, again, right foot, left foot, one step at a time. That's the vision of Knoxville Track Club. It's one step at a time, healthy living. It's this, and truly running is one step at a time. Just that patience that she talked about is making it to that finish line and not trying to rush things.
And she's by herself. We saw the group of 4 or 5 people just a moment ago, and obviously they're motivating one another. Here you have Gina out in front, but all alone, where she's having to really dig down deep and kind of go through that thought process like you were talking about.
Absolutely, and I've never been in any distance race where I didn't make friends. You always find someone that is. Maybe you go with friends and you run with them, and that's wonderful. But if you go by yourself, I've never been in a race that I was just running it individually that I didn't make a bunch of friends before it was over with.
Have you ever worn a shower cap?
I have never worn a shower cap.
Good on a rainy day, though.
But
yes, it is.
It's a rainy day, so it protects the hair. I like it. I like it.
Oh, good for her.
And again, right now, you just kind of find that mental state. You kind of zone it. Take everything else out of your mind. You're maybe you're listening to a tune. You just try to find a comfort level. You're breathing.
And we see some walkers back here.
Yep.
Oh, the woman in the shower cap, shout out Lainey Blair from Knoxville. So maybe she's conditioning her hair today underneath
She
that.
might be.
Who knows?
And she's taking a little bit of break too. And this is also a good example of where you have to listen to your body. Because you hear about that too. It's like you hit a certain mile marker and you just want to stop. And so maybe it's okay just to stop for a moment to kind of re-energize.
Well, and a lot of times you train this way as well, to be able to run and walk. So there are several methods. The Galloway method is that you run for a certain amount of time and then you walk for a certain amount of time. So a lot of people will use that training for either the half or the full marathon. I'm going to run 6 minutes, I'll walk 2.
Right.
I'll run 7 minutes, I'll walk 3. Somewhere in there to where they're building in that break to give the body a rest, knowing that some people can run the whole way. The last half marathon I did as a run walk. So I would run so many minutes and then I would walk so many minutes, knowing that I was not in the best shape of my life, but that was how I was going to get to the finish line, which was the goal.
I like doing that just on the treadmill, just for a hip workout.
Yeah.
I just like doing that walking to the 3rd floor here. Lenny Blair, by the way, real quick, before we head off to a break here, we want to tell you, Lenny Blair, she's a captain with Knoxville Fire.
Yes.
And so great to see her out there on the course and everything they do, the fire department. Just not helping to maintain here, but also a lot of them taking part. We've seen that too. They've had a lot of members sign up and take part in these.
Yes, they have.
races,
and remember earlier we saw someone in their turnout gear running. We need to check back in and see how they have done.
Yeah. Hey, we want to check back in with Tirsa, I understand. She's down near the finish at World's Fair Park. So Tirsa.
Hey, Bo, Lori, thank you so much. Yeah, let's get ahead. I'll get a look right now at the finish line. We always talk to the winners, the ones that come through first, but just take a look. Oh, we've got someone who just has fallen. We've got wet conditions out here. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but it looks like they've got folks that are able to help her out at this moment. So let's give her a little time to get to where she needs to go. It's starting to rain out here a little bit. The rain has picked up, and so conditions are slick. but just look at the effort that it takes to coordinate all of this. Normally, you see the finish line, you see everyone coming through. What you don't normally see are all of the first responders that are on standby. You've got the medic teams from the two different schools, I believe LMU and South College. They're out here putting those blankets on the runners as they come through. But it's still just such an electric moment. If you take a look, JR, just kind of show them all the people that are just lined up. You've got folks that are waiting to see their loved ones. They've got their signs up, and they are just excited. If you've never ran in any of these races or run in any of these races, then that feeling that you get to cross the finish line, it is something else. I've only done it one time, and it was a 5K, and trust me, it was a lot. But yeah, just take a look. They are loud. Take a look right there, JR. You've got folks yelling. They're cheering for Caroline this morning. There we go. And she's getting some recovery. But yeah, guys, it's just a great feeling to be out here. It's kind of hard to talk to people when they first finish the finish line because they're trying to catch their breath. And some don't feel very well, and they have to take a little moment. This guy right here feels great. Sir, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, he doesn't, now he doesn't want to talk. Now you don't want to talk. Everybody wants the limelight until I give them the limelight. But yeah, it's just been a great morning. We're waiting on the female winner to come through, and we're going to be on standby. But again, it has just been a great time out here at the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon, rain or shine.
Oh, Tirsa, you are hilarious. Thank you so much. We'll keep watching. We certainly hope that runner who had that bobble at the end there is okay. That happens.
It happens.
After a long run. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. You see the leader for the women in the Knoxville Marathon, Gina Rouse, no stranger to this race.
She has won it multiple times and looks like she is on her way to yet another victory. Don't want to jinx her. But she is well out in front. Matter of fact, our own Stan Smith saw her pass by where he is just a few moments ago. Stan.
What's up, guys? Yeah, we just saw Gina run by, and we just saw the first female relay team run by us just as well right here near McWhorter Park. Now, as these runners are coming through, we're starting to see more and more trickle in this way. I want to bring your attention over here to Mr. Ethan Coffey. How many times have you won the Knoxville Marathon?
3 times.
3 times. So what does it take to, prep for this? And like what's the hard work and dedication that you have to put forth to win this race?
Just a lot of consistent training, just weeks of lots of high mileage, making sure you're paying attention to nutrition and weight training and everything else.
When you're balancing all of that out, maybe what's the most difficult thing that maybe people don't think of or they might overlook when it comes to just training for something like this?
It's really probably the most difficult thing is just time management, because like every day is important. You just start missing days here and there and it starts to add up. So just having to plan every day, like, okay, I'm going to have to plan my run somewhere, and that's probably the most difficult thing.
And this year, you're not partaking in it, but you're doing your part this year to, what are you doing to just kind of help out with the marathon, since it clearly means something close to you?
Well, obviously I've been out here a lot before. I know what these runners are going through, so I'm just out here on my bike trying to support them as much as possible. I've been out here all morning, different places, cheering them on and making sure they know that they're supported out here.
Yeah, and not only you're supporting them, but just so many people out here in Knoxville. Ethan, I want to thank you just for taking the time to chat with us here. We're starting to see a couple more runners running in this way, right down the sidewalk here, and they're doing their part, as Ethan just mentioned to us, just cheering them on and telling them where to go. We got water over here. This is just a hard work and dedication. These are the best of the best right here, and everybody puts in so much hard work to just get to this point right here as well. And it's not just these two, it's everybody involved in this race. But as more and more runners come in, we'll tell you more about them as this race goes along. But the rain's certainly coming down a little bit, but they're powering through just like we are. But Bo and Lori, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Stan, thank you so much. Yeah, good to see Ethan. He won the men's marathon in 2015, again in 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, his fastest time was in 2 hours, 22 minutes, 58 seconds. And on that note, we're awaiting the women's winner to cross the finish line, and we'll have it for you when we come back. You're watching the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon.
Welcome back, everyone, to our coverage of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon 2025. You're looking at Gina Rouse, who's, in the lead for the women. It's been a strong lead, and she has just passed mile marker 25.
Yeah, she is on her way. I believe what you see behind her is the final leg of one of the relay
relays.
teams.
Yes.
Right. And we saw her running with a member of probably that same relay team earlier. So they all know each other.
Yes.
And she will probably use this person as well to kind of help get her to the line.
Yes.
Basically.
And I think that had been a little bit of the plan going into it, knowing that she was running, that they would again intersect with her a handful of times, give her some energy, give them some energy. It's just, again, this is one of the reasons why the Knoxville running community is so amazing.
Right.
You see all these folks out there running with Gina, cheering her on.
And I think, too, for the we should know for the relay team, too, real quick, just to mention, this is a member of the team that Dominic Webster introduced us to. They're out to set a record.
They're out to set a record.
So keep a close watch on them.
Ooh,
There's a pretty
close
good
call there
as
with
well.
a puddle. All right, as we watch Gina, and we're going to stick with her, we'll be checking back with her as she gets closer and closer to the finish line. Let's check in with our Amber Lynn here at WATE.
All right, guys. Well, now I have an umbrella. I'm not as brave as these runners right now. This is incredible. The rain is picking up out here, but man, they are still running hard. They're still doing their thing. Definitely have to have some motivation to get through this. It's going to be a fun finish line, that's for sure.
Yes, it will, and we can hear the rain coming down here in the studios. So it is definitely starting to pick up. So our hats off to these runners. This is North Broadway, so this is just out front of our studios.
Keep going. You got it.
You see all the traffic cones out there to help guide the runners, and traffic is still moving when cars can. So that's why police, course marshals are so important to keep everything and everybody safe.
It's that behind the scenes. The crew has done a great job today of all angles of the course. Knoxville Police Department had posted a picture this morning. There's roughly 200 officers, I believe, that are working in some shape or form across the weekend, making sure that the road closures are safe for the runners. Also the city of Knoxville putting out the cones and cattle guards. I mean, it's a whole group effort across the board. We've been on the phone every day this week with Ken Weathers and the National Weather Service looking at the weather. Just the amount of folks who are behind the scenes that make these things happen, or just shout out to everybody who has any part in an event like this, because it takes everyone to make it happen and to get to this point.
The race started right around 7:30, so we're coming up on 3 hours. There is a time limit.
There are time limits, yes.
For crews. I don't want to jinx anybody. I'm not saying anybody you're looking at is not going to make it. They're going to make it. But there is a time limit for the marathon.
When do you start picking up the cones and letting people know it's time to go?
So the nice thing is that they can do that on a rolling basis. So things like the water stop and the cones, once you get through certain points, so Cherokee Boulevard is probably cleaned up by now, because we're well past that.
Right.
Everyone that's come through there, they go ahead and they pick those things up. So same thing when you come off Third Creek Greenway. Once they get past that, we go through, we pick up the water stop supplies, we bring everything back, get rid of the trash. The city begins to roll things up after those last runners as well. So the cones, so when the last runner comes through this area in front of the building, the city will come right behind them and pick those cones up for them, or for us. So it's really a group effort, and we try to have everything on the course cleaned up by the time we get to the finish line. If you get past that time limit, we just ask you to move to the sidewalk. We're pretty lenient. Unless you're coming through after we're completely finished with everything, we're going to have a medal for you and some food when you get to the finish line.
Definitely. Well, Gina Rouse right now has made the turn. She's crossing Neyland, heading up onto the UT campus, onto the Greenway there. Really the final stretch now as she closes in on World's Fair Park in the finish.
And Christy, you know Gina well, you know her style, and we can tell she's tired.
She's
rightfully so.
It's been a long race. She's out there we're getting close to 3 hours, and the rain is picking up. So her body temperature is probably dropping a little bit. I mean, she still looks fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can just tell a little bit. Like, I've noticed her hand moving a little bit. I think she's starting to get a little bit of fatigue. So, but it looks great. Unless something happens in the next few minutes, she's going to win. She's going to come up Second Creek here. Again, the last little climb is deceptive. It doesn't look as hilly as it is, but it's more of a hill than most people think that this area is. But she should cruise into a finish, and she wins that number 5 that's on her bib.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Magic number 5.
Magic number 5.
This is South Knoxville right now. We're following a handful of runners coming out of Island Home, and this is where you see those going in and coming out. Those heading into Island Home, though, they still have a little ways to go, but they're seeing these runners coming the other way, and they're saying, okay, well, sometimes that can work negatively, but also it can also tell you, you know what, there's a turn, and and they're heading into the final stretch, so it could also be a pick-me-up as well. We're getting close to the end.
It's a pick-me-up. It's both. It's that there's hope ahead.
Yeah.
That you're going to go in, and you've got a pretty good idea. If you've looked at the course, you know that it's not an extraordinarily long time. You're going to go out and make a loop through Island Home and come back. But yes, it's absolutely a pick-me-up for those people who are coming out of the area and headed back our way.
We've got a different view of Gina because we're going to follow her now. We're going to follow her as she heads toward the finish line, as she makes her way. She's going to go by the Sun Sphere coming up.
Yep, crossing over the tracks there. You can see the convention center just there in front of her. They're turning her onto the bridge there, kind of pointing her in the right direction. And sooner or later, here she'll be running right underneath the Sun Sphere. Yeah, she's dominated since the get-go today.
A reminder that she won the marathon here in Knoxville in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. And her times, we've been talking about this, they really were pretty consistent around the 250 mark.
Thank you.
Yes. And Kathy Wolski had won it 3 times. So for a long time, she held that record of most wins. Camille Herron came a couple of years in a row. She won it twice. And then Gina has dominated since then as far as wins go on the women's side.
And again, this will be a clean sweep for Knoxville on the women's side. Earlier today, we saw Amanda Martin win for the women from Knoxville, and Gina Rouse, another Knoxvillian, right across in the finish line here just shortly.
Amanda's time for the half marathon for the women was 1:18:56.
And she said she would run a 1:18.
Yes.
She knew what she was doing today.
Could you imagine there? I was just watching this, looking from behind her, and you come around that corner and you see all those stairs. I'm thinking, please tell me I get to go to the left.
No, we don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Those aren't really allowed in races.
There's a liability factor.
There's a liability
factor. There's
factor.
that mental part thinking, I don't think I could climb those if I tried. But now the crowd, she's gonna hear them and see them. And the finish line will be right in front of her here in just a moment.
There she goes. She's waving. I love it. I love it.
Gina, you're almost there.
Rain really coming down.
It is really coming down. Yeah, and again, we love this for her. Their whole family, they are just really good people. Obviously, a very talented runner, and congratulations to Gina on number 5. What a great day.
There she is.
Across the finish line, Gina Rouse.
Gonna take a moment to breathe.
Yes.
I mean, she really pushed. Nice hug there from Jason.
And that's, at the end of the day, what's so fun as well is that when it's the hometown sweep and you get to, it's lovely to meet the new folks who come in from out of town, but whenever you can hug somebody that you see almost every day or a few times a week, just what a blessing to be able to be there and experience that.
And you can see, she really pushed.
Yes, she really pushed.
And she's feeling a little bit there at the finish line, that is for sure.
It is so mental.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've watched, the conditions have declined just a little bit. It's raining harder. Amanda talked about the humidity, so we haven't been outside, but I'm assuming that it's a little more humid this morning than anticipated. It's starting to rain harder, and just different terrain, different training. The flat section can be a blessing, and it can also be a curse when your muscles and everything are tired. But she's still, what a great day, what a great run for Gina.
Looks like maybe she take a seat over there.
I think they're probably, have her sit for a minute. I saw Jason grabbing her some water.
We'll come back to her in just a moment as we take in some of the sights, some of the people walking around. A lot of people have turned out today in the rain to watch.
Yeah, this is Derek Erickson.
Uh-oh, there's someone.
This fellow has a cramp. It looks like he just pulled. This is where the nutrition and pieces come into play.
Right. We're keeping
making
it real.
sure that you've got your electrolytes, and sometimes the body will just lock up on you.
Let's check in with Don Dare now, in the rain, covering this race for us. Don.
Well, Lori, we're at the South Knoxville Bridge on James White Parkway, and Dave's going to pan over to his right, and we see these runners at mile marker number 20. And anyone who has ever run, you want to have a great picture. You want to be smiling. Well, these runners are smiling. Dave's going to pan over to the left because look at this big Jumbotron and the big smile.
That's great.
No headaches for these guys, and it's brought to you by Goodies. And we know Goodies very well. That's awesome. Look at these. Look at the big smile. Look at that. Look at that smile on that guy's face. Bo, this is what you wanted to look like last night when you finished the 5K, I believe.
You're right.
Goodies headache powder, and there's nothing better than a big smile. And with me right now is
Antoinette Bessa.
Antoinette. Tell me about this Jumbotron.
So this Jumbotron is brought to you by Goodies at mile 20, which, if you didn't know, mile 20 is when you hit the wall. Yeah. And so this AI-generated filter allows for a big smile, which is an endurance boost to get you through the balance of the marathon.
This is the first time you've employed this?
Yes, the first time that the brand has deployed this. Correct.
Where are you going to go next, do you think?
Well, a surprise. Hopefully in the fall we'll participate in additional marathons and continue the big smile to get these runners through the balance of it.
Is there any way that you can regenerate the grimace that I made in a 5K race a couple of years ago?
Regenerate it?
No, you can't.
You can't.
Oh, well,
No.
shucks.
Don't think so.
Okay,
You'll have to run again.
There they go. Look at that big smile. Mile marker number 20. Thank you, Goodies. Back to you, Lo and Bori.
Oh, that's great use of AI.
Lori, back to you.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I would have loved to have that smile last night. But you know who had the smile? Don Dare at the finish line had a huge smile on his face, so that helped pick you up. But I can imagine, when you hit 20, and we've been talking about this all day, it's about mile marker 20 where you really start to feel the aches and the pains, and can you push through this? So something like that can kind of take your mind off of it a little bit.
What a great idea when they called and said that they wanted to do that. I was having a hard time imagining what it was going to look like, so I'm thrilled that we got to see that. But yes, absolutely. Anything to boost the whole, she said the boost to get you through the end. And you'd be giggling about that for miles after.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, a moment ago we saw Derek Erickson cross. He's one of the elite runners with the marathon. And you're going down the list, and whether it's the marathon or the half marathon, it really kind of goes to show the popularity of this race. Erickson's from Minnesota. You've got people from South Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky, obviously Tennessee, North Carolina, Nevada, Michigan, coming from all around to take part in the Knoxville Marathon.
And that's what's so great. People are looking for destination races. They're looking for some place to go. This is a great place to visit in the spring. That's why obviously it was strategically placed in the spring because of the Dogwood Arts Festival and everything else. And, last night after you had finished the 5K, we walked up to Market Square to grab dinner and bring back to the hotel. And the kids were just in awe of all the people because I hadn't told them that it was Chalk Walk Day.
Oh, right.
And so we get to Market Square, and the Chalk Walk has been taking place, and there are people everywhere. And then, it was very cute because we're walking by, and there's kids sitting out on patios with their medals from the kids' run. And, it's a great way to see more of the community, not only through the race, but then you get downtown and you explore around.
Yeah.
Go to
and you hear them talking about it too.
Yeah.
I know last night coming for the 5, and I was passing a lot of the kids who run the kids run, and they were talking about their runs, or they were talking about with their parents, their runs, and it really was great to see how much they were into it and just loved the moment.
Well, and don't forget, the kids have done their own marathon by the time they got to yesterday. Yes, so we did the kickoff at the zoo, and then over the course of the time between the kickoff at the zoo and then last night's event, they're running 25 miles, said that last night was their 26th mile, finishing their own marathon.
Not to mention, as you said, April is a busy time for Knoxville anyway. We have a lot of visitors, and when I was down there at World's Fair Park covering pre-race stuff on Friday live, I had several people come up and say, what can we do? We're here visiting. What's going on? Marathon. Oh, really? Where do I need to be?
Yeah.
Here's something from the kids' run yesterday.
Oh, look at that.
A bunch of second graders there, but well, look, I mean, and all of their parents got to run along too sometimes.
Yes.
Teachers
Oh, yes,
or what have
absolutely.
you,
So if the parents want to run along, we do 2 bibs for the kids.
Right.
So one is if the parent doesn't run along, you've got that to get the kid out of the area. But they're welcome to run with the kiddos, or they're welcome to meet them at the finish line.
Let's hear from one of those runners.
This is my 3rd year doing it, and I just got a new PR for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I think it's just a really fun experience for everyone, even if you're not a runner.
That's so true. It's all about being healthy, getting outside, being active, and that's what the 5Kers did last night. That kicked off at 7 o'clock. There's Dawn Dare, who helped MC things, and Bo was in that crowd.
Somewhere. Look closely. Somewhere in that crowd. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
it was
bet we
a
have
great
video.
crowd. I mean, a huge group. I was looking at the final numbers last night. I mean, so many people signing up for the 5K. I mean, that gives you a great idea right there. And everybody was talking ahead of time and having a good time. But congratulations to everybody out there last night. It was hot, that is for sure.
It was hot. It was a hot afternoon. It was hot for the kids' run and then hot for the 5K. But everybody looked great finishing, coming across that finish line. And, you know, when you get to the point of being able to start the races, it's such a special moment, and then being able to come down and watch everybody finish.
I think we're going to hear from second place winner, and her name is Janet.
My marathon career started here 2 years ago with a dream to make it to Boston, and I made it. So I go to Boston in 16 days.
Oh, I was hoping we were going to say there he is, you know.
Woo-hoo!
Still, yeah, okay. Hopefully the track coach from high school wasn't watching that form. But,
Hey, you got out and you did
That's
it.
right.
You've been training,
No, it's been
and
great. It's been
that's
great.
what it's all about.
It's been great. Hey, we're going to check in with Tirsa right now back at the finish line. Tirsa.
All right, thank you, Bo. I've got Gina. I've got the winner of the female leg of the marathon. You did it again. How does it feel to win this thing?
Oh, I'm just so grateful. This is number 5 for me. I did 4 in a row several years ago, and I just wanted to be able to come back again and bring my whole crew with me. I've got 2 of my daughters here and my husband, and they're both runners. My husband is, and it's just like an all family thing. And then I have my team. I coach the Christian.
Now, who are they?
This is the Christian Academy in Knoxville. It's our track team, and I coach them, and it's just been such an awesome ride to be able to be a part of their lives and their goals. And then they showed up to run. My 2 distance boys paced my first half, and all the girls came out to cheer on the second half. And then my PT, Paul, and his wife Danielle, who I coach. And I've got the other ladies I coach, and just so many friends. And the winner of the half is my training buddy, and the winner of the 5K is my training buddy, Kathy Wolski and Amanda Martin. And Jessica Jones. There's just so many people out here. Katie Baxa and her big crew with Bound, they were out here and they ran some with me. And it's just been, Knoxville's community came out today, and I have felt all the love on the streets, and just try to do my best to bring it home.
Does it ever get old? Because after the first time, it's amazing. The second time, the third time. I mean, how does it feel any different?
I always say I forgot how hard it feels the second half, and just how hard, the pain just comes on and your muscles cramp up. It's a bit warm. The weather held out. I can't believe it didn't storm. We prayed for it not to storm, so we were thankful to God that it didn't, and everybody could come out and run their race and go for their goal and have spectators out. And we're just thankful that, the weather held out. And so, no, it doesn't get old. Everyone is magical. Everyone is special. There's so many people that can't run and can't get out and do something like this. And so you just can't take it for granted.
Oh, I love it. Congratulations. I feel like the message here is if you want to win, you got to train with Gina. I feel like that's the message. You're spectacular. You are spectacular.
Thank you so much.
Give it up. Give it up for Gina. Thank you. And we'll send it back inside to you all.
Oh, that's a plug right there.
Isn't
if you want
it?
to win,
Train with Gina.
Train with Gina. So it sounds like Tirsa's going to be training with Gina.
I think so, because she said at the top of the
ahead of next year's
the
relay.
Hey, by the way, real quick, let's talk about why is this individual running with a flag?
He's a pacer. Right. So what we do for the race is you have folks who volunteer their time. to run a certain pace. So that's anywhere from a 3:45, you do it about every 15 minutes, 3:45, a 4-hour marathon, a 4:15 marathon, and their job is to stay on that pace. So from start to finish, their job is to get you from the start line to the finish line in the time that is on his flag. And we've got, there's 16 or 17 of them. They are amazing. You know, we talked earlier about Katie Baxa. Her company Bound Running helped with their singlets this year. But they get out there and they get groups of folks that will run with them, and that's their job.
Do they run the whole race?
They run the whole race. You know, and sometimes you'll see where they trade off, like if somebody's had an injury or something. But for the most part, he has run this whole race with that flag out of his vest, it looks like. Some of them will just carry it, but they volunteer. They love to do it. They come back year over year, and it's, you know, it's fulfilling for them to be able to get someone to the finish line.
And he just took a selfie. So,
I saw that. I mean, he's feeling great.
All right, we want to send things back to Amber Lynn here at WATE. Out in the parking lot, we're a spot on the course, and she has a special guest.
I do. I have the one and only Marcos Garza. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. How was the half?
It was great. It was great. You know, the one thing about the marathon is the course is about the same, but it's a different experience every year. And today it was raining, right? And which was kind of nice. As long as it's not coming down in sheets, once you get warmed up, it's kind of nice. Want to give a shout out to Lizzie Benson Collins, my really cool niece, who has run this with me for 3 years in a row. Her dad, Mark Benson, and then also my other nephew, Justin Stimbridge. So anyway, thanks again for running this with me. I think this is kind of our 4th annual sort of half marathon. So had a great time, and like I said, the experience is a little different every time, and today it happened to have this rain here. So, and it wasn't really bad at all. So.
I mean, you're braving the elements right now. I had to bring out my umbrella. This is incredible. I mean, you're so active in the community. You know, we've talked about it on Living East Tennessee before. And what is it like to run alongside members of the community in this element?
It's awesome. I mean, it's kind of a reunion. You run by and you run into people that you've not seen in days, weeks, or you saw them just Friday and you didn't expect to see them out here. And it's fun and it's uplifting. I don't know, it kind of, what's the saying? Like, my cup runneth over, kind of thing is the way I end up feeling about it. And there are all these times where you wake up in the morning like, oh, I can't believe I signed up for this. And by the time in about mile 2, should I say that? Probably not. But,
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah, but 2.5 miles in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm out here. And it's just like you're kind of riding on a wave of people, really. So not people that you're running with, and then there's still an awful lot of people out here despite the rain. So that's, you know, Knoxville's a great place to be.
We were talking about motivation earlier with them in studio. And when you're at the start line, what is that feeling like for you right before you're let out the gate?
For me, at age 51, I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to shake something loose by the end of 13 miles, to be completely transparent. But it's also exciting because of the music and just the mass of people. You know, I came today and I thought, gosh, I wonder, you know, I felt bad for the marathon, for the people who run it, for all the people who work it. And I thought, geez, I wonder if there will be enough people, or will this kill it? And it still seemed like just a mass, like half of Knoxville was out there. So it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Awesome. And then crossing the finish line, being able to come back and see all these runners still running with the marathon, and then your guys who are set up out in the community and just handing out waters and different things. What's that been like for you?
It's rewarding. Rewarding, I think, is the right word. And then the other is, there's always this sense of, well, there's a couple things I always said when I was in the service. One is, it's easy to be hard, but what was it? It's easy to be hard, and it's hard to be smart. And so I look at the folks running the full, and I'm like, I should be running the full. And then I'm not sure my body at age 51 is probably designed to run a full anymore. Maybe not. Or maybe I'd have to quit my day job, I think. But
I think you still got it. I think you need to sign up next year. He's coming for you, marathon.
Another thing I always said too, if it's not raining, you're not training. So I keep thinking that too.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is awesome, and thanks for all you do in the community as well. Absolutely. All right, back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Amber Lynn and Marcos Garza. We just want to give him a shout out for supporting this effort. And I was going to say he walks the walk, but I think he runs the run.
Yes.
He does.
Yes,
You know?
he definitely
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
And I just want to say real quick, as far as Marcos, I think I know the secret. I was at the Pancake Fest over at O'Connor Senior Center with him recently. He was making a sausage pancake mustard sandwich. Amazing. I think that's his secret.
I bet he's going to have one after this.
I think that's his secret. Hey, we got the bands playing, the runners still out on the course. More of the Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon in just a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, we already have our winners of the marathon and half marathon. That does not mean it's over. We still have a lot of people who are out there on the course tackling it in this rain.
And here's a good look at a number of them right now. And these are all, now again, on the right there, you saw the green bib. That's a member of a relay team. But everyone else will be running the marathon right now. And this is right here behind us. This is Long Luttrell, right behind the WATE studios.
And let's sync things over to our Stan Smith as we watch one of the bands there play. Stan?
What's up, guys? We're about a mile away from the finish line, across the street from the boathouse right now. We have a great team of water and Gatorade passer outers. I guess that's what their title is right here. They've been doing a great job, and we'll see them in action right in here. We have a very young competitor coming this way. He's got one of those green bibs that you guys were just mentioning. Look at this. Look at him power through in the pouring rain. Look at him go. Attaboy, attaboy. That is so inspiring right there. Anybody at all these ages, and it's just incredible just seeing everybody come through here. And these two, actually this whole table right here, they've been doing a great job of just reminding people you got less than a mile to go right here. They've been doing a great job of keeping people hydrated as they've been running down this race. And we can show you one more runner coming through here just to put them in action right here. Let's see what he says. Love you, Mom. I hope.
He says, love you, Mom.
I hope his mom was watching. He loves you very much. But once again, this has been a great final stretch for them. Just knowing that, like, hey, you got less than a mile to go. 26.2 down, almost completed. Battling through the pouring rain too, as we are here. But we're here for all these runners, just as these guys are here. But we'll send it back to you guys where it's dry over on North Broadway.
At least in the studio.
At least inside, that is for sure.
Thank you, Stan. Okay, we saw that young
Can we
relayer.
get his name? That's a future winner,
Yes,
I think,
it
of
is.
the marathon or half marathon.
So is there an age limit
For
here?
the relay, no.
Okay.
It's 6 miles, so it's whatever
Sure.
they can do at that age. But yeah, we look at age limits would be like the half and the full.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if they can make it the 6 miles, it's roughly a 10K. So yeah, have them out there. And I know lots of families that have done it this year that signed up as a family group. Mom, dad, and the kids. And so that may be what that is, or he may be out there with friends.
You see more crews coming through our parking lot here. It's so exciting to have our station be part of this year's course. for the marathon. But this is at mile marker 15, so they still have about another 11 miles to go as they're making their way back behind our building here onto Luttrell, and they'll slowly start making their way towards South Knoxville.
Our parking lot has never been so empty.
What you don't see is the parking lot next to our parking lot.
Where it's very full this morning.
Very full this morning.
Very full of cars this morning.
But again, it's great to see them. Great to have everybody out here and involved and taking part and sharing in the experience with us. But you know, getting back to when we were watching the water stations, it takes skill, not just to hand it off, but when you actually take a cup of water, or if you're getting a Gatorade or what have you, and to drink it. You see some people will stop. Others, though, they try to run. And at this point, you're so tired, it might end up everywhere but inside your mouth.
That's right. Well, they figured out, so a lot of people will pinch it. And so, that makes the hole smaller for what you're drinking from. So you'll see them pinch and then kind of just let it fall into their mouth.
I'll have to remember that next time.
That's as good as I can tell you, though, as far as making that work better. I usually just stop if I'm getting water.
There you go. Hey, let's check in with Dominic Webster for a West High School finisher.
Joined out by Nick Burke. He's from West High School. Nick, what was it like running this course here today?
I mean, it's pretty hilly. I'm training for track, so mile, 2 miles. So I just went out. I was going to take it easy, but I was feeling good. I was kind of in a flow state. So I was just cruising at 6 flat pace, just relaxed, comfortable speed. But then the last couple miles, it was pretty hilly, so that kind of got to me, but I just pushed through it.
Yeah, you say you ran it in 121, 122, personal best for you. How did it feel seeing that number pop up when you crossed the line?
I mean, I was pretty surprised. I wasn't paying attention to the time. I was just the gun went off and my body just carried me. I was just flowing. I wasn't thinking about it. So, yeah.
Now, was this your first time running the half or full marathon here?
No, I did it last year. My cross country coach is Jason Altman. He's in charge of it, so he gets me in for free.
How do you feel now after completing the race, just hanging out, kind of seeing everybody else come through?
It feels pretty good. I'm pretty tired. I got 1 hour of sleep last night because I was out pretty late, but still feels good. Just seeing everyone here, having a good time, accomplishing.
Yeah, awesome. There you have it. Nick Burke out of West High School. Personal best for him here today between hour 21 and hour 22. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Friend, obviously, of Christy, and Jason is his coach, Jason Altman.
Yeah, and I just heard something there. Now, Jason and I both went to the same university. I paid for the 5K last night. So.
Oh, Nicholas. We do. So Nicholas is one of the most talented runners in our area. He is at West High School. It has been a pleasure to be able to watch him run. Jackson's a couple years younger than he is, so we've been watching him run for years now. Very good kid. The funny thing to that is that last night was West High School prom.
Oh, my goodness.
And so the DJ Party Boys actually did both.
Right.
So they were here starting the race while they were at prom, and then they came to break down while they were still at prom, and then came back this morning. So a lot of our kids were there last night at prom.
Oh my goodness.
Obviously, Nicholas decided to get up this morning and run as well.
But I like what
and did a great job.
I like what he said, though. If you think about it, he said he heard the gun sound, and then it's just like his body and his mind just kind of went into that zone.
Just kind of flowed.
Yeah, just flowed. That's what it was. But you hit that, that's what runners do.
Yes, yes, they do. And, and he's a kid where he's very talented. So what he did was he let it go, and he had a great race. He had a great day, and I have no doubt that when he runs next weekend, he's going to run another. I believe he PR'd on Friday night in one of the track meet races. So in great shape, and that's what we want them to be at this point in their season, is that they're in shape. This is their long run. They're gearing up for. We're getting closer to regions and state, and that's what the goal is. But this gets them those miles on their legs so that they can run when they're tired.
And we have followed them. We did a story, with you guys, as we mentioned, and saw you out on a weekend morning. It was brisk, and you had a huge group of kids out there.
That was about half of them for the track. So this is track season where we're at right now, and so it breaks into distance, and then the sprinters. So the sprinters are not coming out to do a half marathon. So what you see here are distance kids, and then they get into the summer, they'll start training for cross country again, which is a 5K for their race distances.
And there's so much talent, young talent in this area in East Tennessee.
gosh,
when you look at
yes.
all the different high schools, all the different running clubs.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you get out and you watch them and you think this is the future of running. And we actually just had a conversation not long ago about running professionally and whether he would run after he goes to college and what that would look like. And, you know, I mean, the sky's the limit because we know a lot of folks who have gone to Olympic trials and who have run really, really well and really fast times as an adult. And you just do that alongside your job.
Yeah.
So there's that, you know, if you're committed to it, you can run and work at the same time.
That is for sure. And again, you hear the crowds right now, the rain coming down, but it's not stopping anyone. It's the crowds are still out there cheering.
Oh,
look at the excitement
this.
here. This is what it's all about, right?
He's so happy. And I'm so happy for him.
Yes.
What a great day.
I want to say, is that Darryl Brown? Was that number 14? I think I saw on his bib. He's from Knoxville. But if that's who that is, man, congratulations to him.
Absolutely.
And not far off. They're just coming through. And this is what it's going to look like for the next several hours until 2 o'clock this afternoon.
And that's when everything just kind of shuts down.
Yeah, so we, you know, and again, we were talking a little bit ago that we roll things up while they're running. So as we get through certain areas, we begin to pick up the cones and pick up the things. And then that way, you know, we're getting the city back to normal as quickly as we can to lessen any kind of traffic issues and things. And then when we go, when everyone gets back to the World's Fair Park here, they'll start to break those things down. So you'll see as it goes closer to 2 how things start to come down a little bit.
Saw those four there. They walked. They made sure everybody was together, and then they crossed hand in hand. We have seen people coming in like this gentleman here at a pretty good clip. We saw a couple just before him. Here you go.
There we go.
I mean, you know what? It's getting to that line.
It's just
And
finishing.
He's like, come on.
He's like,
we're
come on,
almost
we're
there.
there.
I can do
Almost
this.
there.
You can jog
Let's
across
watch
the
them
line
cross
here.
that finish line.
And it can be deceiving because you
There
see
you
the
go.
one mat, and
Right.
ideally that mat is going to pop your name up on a screen. And so if there's availability of time, we can call out names as folks cross. And so that's what the initial mat is for. But the second one is really where you get your time.
Here we go.
I love it.
Finishing together.
Victory.
And here comes a marathoner behind them, finishing strong there.
Yes.
This is another really great part of this race because you see real people who decided, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go do this. We don't know what amount of training. Some trained a while. Some said, you know, I'm going to walk most of it.
Sure.
I'm going to walk part of it.
And we have people that do that their plan is to walk the whole thing.
Sure.
I mean, it's really just about getting up and moving and getting out, being active, enjoying the community, enjoying the scenery that we have here, and being able, whether you're walking or running or doing both, what that looks like, it's just a great day.
And again, you see they continue to come in right now, and again, it's just a great finish. And we won't hold it against him. He's got a Manchester United jersey on, but that's okay. Let's check in with Don Dare right now. He is, I think he's near the Sun Sphere. Don, where are you?
Exactly right, Bo. We're 50 yards from the finish line. Vita, what's this like as you get to this point?
Wet.
Wet.
But good. You're excited to get to cross the finish line. So,
And how did you feel when you crossed the finish line?
well, we actually haven't crossed it yet because we're waiting for our relay partners to come through to finish together.
How do you think your relay partner will do?
Oh, she'll do awesome.
Here they come. Look at this.
She'll do awesome.
This pan over there, right to your right, Dave. Here comes these finishers right now, looking strong, looking strong. Bo and Lori, as we're at the finish line here at World's Fair Park.
Oh, just a few minutes to go in our coverage. Don, thank you so much. We want to bring it back, everybody, and remind everybody of our winners today. Alex Sandusky and Gina Rouse, our marathon winners, men and women, and then Chase Bolton and Amanda Martin, winners of our half marathon.
Yeah, and it's great that both women winners this year from Knoxville. We noticed Alec was saying his next stop is Pittsburgh for a half marathon there. Chase said he's on his way to Boston in a couple of weeks.
And so it continues.
And so it continues. That's
A
right.
reminder, everyone, this is a qualifier for Boston.
It is a qualifier for Boston. And it's just a great, again, another great way to just get out and visit. Lots of people coming in from out of town. Good day for all.
There you go, right there. I mean, sometimes the picture says it all. There you go.
Oh boy, look at the relief.
Yeah,
That's right.
Hey, we appreciate you. We hope you've enjoyed it. We have had a fantastic time bringing you the 2025 Covenant Health Knoxville Marathon.
We are so grateful that the rain held off to let this race go on. Christy Altman, we could not do this without you. Thank you for your expertise.
And we look forward to doing it again in about a year. And hey, hopefully this has motivated you. Take part in the 5K, a half, you name it, or just get out and walk.
Let us know. Enjoy the rest of your day.